And we're back for the opening kickoff, which Watertown won, but they decided to defer. I think they might be taking this little bit of a wind that's whipping up here, Al.
They certainly are, Dale. I think what they want to do is establish themselves early, test Winchester early in this ball game.
Well, I think also maybe have them win at their backs, maybe get some field position, but and also have the ball for the second half.
Yes, that's absolutely true. We're having a little bit of a difficulty with our headsets. We're trying to get that adjusted. As soon as we do, we'll bring you the complete broadcast.
Tom Dicker, Mr. Everything for Watertown, will be kicking off. He also punts, kicks extra points, and does everything else for the
Oh, he's definitely a key in this
Raiders.
ball game. That's what makes Watertown's offense go. You have Captain Tom Dicker in there. It makes the Watertown offense work. You don't have Tom Dicker, it's a little bit of a different ball game. So that's what they're going to need to do here today, Dale. They're going to need to stop him.
Back deep for Winchester is Damian Allen, the speedy Damian Allen. Oh, and he boots the ball deep. It's taken on the 10-yard line by Mike Masiglia. He cuts it up to about the 17-yard line and is down. So he's up at the 27-yard line. Be first and 10 for Winchester.
Not a bad field position for the Winchester Sachems to start early in this ball game. What's important also is for the quarterback Sullivan to get off to a good start. If he gets off to a good start, he could get into a real nice groove. Could cause some problems for the Watertown Raiders.
So Artie Carb comes up to the ball. They come out in a full back set. Sullivan options down, gets to Tim Sullivan straight ahead. He's good for about 4 yards.
That's excellent. That's the way to move the ball, I should say. Just take it a little bit at a time. Take 4 or 5 yards at a time. Just keep the ball moving down the field.
And we've known in the past when the Winchester Sachems have had success, it's been key by Tim Sullivan picking up those yards between tackles.
Yep, that's exactly what the success of the Winchester Sachems has been all year long.
So it's 2nd and 7 from the 31-yard line. Full house backfield. Gives straight ahead. And then Ben Albiani goes straight ahead as the second option. Picks up about 1.5 yards.
Also, another positive for the Winchester Sachems is this is the first time that they've been healthy all year long, Dale.
Yeah, they get Big Frank Federa back at linebacker today, number 29. You'll have to watch for him. We have a 3rd and about 3.5.
A gain of 3 yards in the play.
For their own 34-yard line.
3rd down, 4 yards to go.
Sullivan again in the full house set. He gives it straight ahead to Tim Sullivan. He's going to be short of the first down by about 1 yard, 1.5 yards.
Number 42, Tim Sullivan.
Excellent
So
job
it's going to be 4th and about 1 yard.
Excellent job by Sullivan finding the lead block. As soon as he found that lead block, even though he didn't get the first down, he's still following the lead block. A good running back
Actually,
always follows. Actually, okay, that's good. That's excellent. That's good job for the Winchester Sachems. Well, again, as I was saying, that when you're a running back or a halfback, you always want to follow the lead tackler. That way he'll open up the hole and you'll get the yardage. As in this case, they're going to measure it. They possibly have gotten it.
And that's going to be awful close. They got a good spot. He's got it. He's got it by about the nose of the football.
First down, Sachems.
So it's first down Sachems on their own 38-yard line. And a good start to the opening drive.
It really is. They look pretty good in this opening drive. They've just got to keep it going.
So Sullivan brings them up under center, Artie Carr. Now they come out on a split backfield, lone setback. Tim Sullivan. 2 men in motion. Flag's going to go down. You had 2 men in motion. Well, that play got bogged. That time you had Ben Albiani and Damian Allen going in motion. That'll be a 5-yarder.
Well, it's just a mix-up in the backfield there, or the two guys. They just didn't know who was going to go first.
Well, one of them was going to motion, but they both went, and Watertown's deciding whether to take this or not. This is interesting.
It really is. Well, you're dealing with a veteran coach in Paul McGovern. He knows exactly what he wants to do.
So they take the chance. They take the down with no gain, and it's 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line. 8:14 left in the first quarter. No score.
Also, another key is that this is a young football team, Dale. They're still learning the game of football. I mean, they're getting better. You want to try to avoid mistakes. If that's the only mistake they make all day long, they've done a terrific job.
Again, the full house backfield. John Chase split out. He fakes it to Sullivan. He's got Chase in the slant. He's got him open, and he's got Chet tacklers. John Chase should go all the way. turns on the Jets and goes all the way for a 63-yard touchdown. John Chase.
If this was the big play that the Winchester Sachems have needed all year long, they finally respond. Great job by Sullivan finding Chase in the open, and it's a 63-yard touchdown. It's almost what the doctor ordered for this team.
Boy, you know, it was an excellent play fake to Sullivan. He had him on the slant, fed him right, gave him a nice lead pass, and he was able to shed the linebackers and go all the way. Excellent completion by Sullivan to Chase.
We're finally seeing what Sullivan is as a quarterback. He learned under one of the best ones in the Middlesex League in Barone last year.
Number 48, Robert Rosillo.
Well, Robbie Rosillo's in for the extra point. It's up and it's good. So 7:42 left in the first quarter. It's the Winchester Sachems take a 7-0 lead.
You know, take nothing away from the Watertown Red Raiders. They're an excellent football club, but the Winchester Sachems have been in a lot of football games early in the season, and they just haven't been able to put it together. Maybe this is the game that they finally put everything together and they come out with a victory.
Well, and Andy Sullivan, he's all fired up on the sidelines. You can see the band's all fired up. And I'll tell you, the key to this that pass was the running by Tim Sullivan. Those quick hitters by Tim Sullivan set it up, and when he gave him the fake, he had his man open, and Andy Sullivan led him with a beautiful pass.
That's the key at any level of football. You want to establish your running game to open up your passing game, and Winchester that time executed it very, very well.
So now Red Raiders will get their first opportunity at the ball. Kicking off for Winchester, be 48, Rob Rosillo.
Okay, we have a replay coming up here, Dale.
And number 9, Paul Fantasia.
There it is. Very end of it, you see that Chase just turns on the Jets, and number 9 outruns number 9.
He really did a great job, John Chase.
Oh, and they kick it onside. It bounces off Watertown, and Winchester's recovered. Boy, there it was, a line drive kick, bounced off a lineman, and Winchester recovered.
Give the brain trust of the Winchester Sachems a lot of credit.
Boy, and James Alenado jumped on the ball. Masiglia and Alenado on the ball.
As I was saying, you got to give the Winchester Sachems a lot of credit. When the ball goes right, it definitely goes right. And the Winchester Sachems are right back in business in excellent field position.
Boy, and this is an excellent opportunity for the Sachems to get something rolling here. They're on the 45-yard line of the Red Raiders. They come out in the fullback set. Chase to the left. McGeehan to the right. Fakes it to Sullivan. He pitches back to Albiani. He gets to the outside corner, sheds a tackle, and picks up 10 yards. Close to the first down. I think he's got it.
Great fake. Excellent fake by Albani. Albani was the open man. Nobody knew he was open, so he went down the field for 10 yards. This Winchester Sachems team is definitely ready to play against this excellent Watertown ball club.
And that right there, you saw Andy Sullivan waited till the last second to give Albiani the pitch, and he got outside containment and picked up 10 yards.
Well, we've talked about how smart Andy Sullivan is, and right now he's showing why he's considered one of the better quarterbacks.
He gives back to Allen. This flag down. Allen, a big hole, picks up another 10 yards, but there's going to be a flag. And I think from the look of Andy Sullivan, it's going to go against the Sachems. Another motion penalty. And boy, those will kill you. We've seen it early in the season, and those are the penalties that will really kill you early when they've got all cylinders going right now.
Those types of plays really demoralize you in a ball game. I mean, Winchester Sachems are finding holes. You want to stay away from penalties like that because the momentum can change so quickly in high school football, Dale.
So now it's 1st and 15 at the Watertown 40. There's a timeout on the field. Timeout Watertown.
Well, Watertown's a little bit shell-shocked right now in this ball game. They didn't expect what Winchester came out and did. They got a 63-yard touchdown pass from Andy Sullivan to John Chase. That caught him off a little bit. Also, the onside kick that the Winchester Sachems brain trust decided to do, that caught them a little bit off guard. Paul McGovern right now has called a good timeout just to discuss things with his team, saying, hey, don't fall apart early in this game. You guys have to regroup. You have to come back out here, and you have to play tough.
You know, if you're going to have an onside kick, that's the perfect type, that line drive off of one of those big linemen. It's not expecting it.
Right. Well, this is an excellent coaching staff of the Winchester Sachems. They'll pull every trick out that they can possibly think of in order to get this team a victory.
So we got 7:04 left in the first quarter, 7-0 Sachems on the 40-yard line of Watertown, looking to pick up that 5 yards that they lost on the penalty. They come out in the full house backfield. McGeehan split left to the left side. Give straight ahead to Sullivan, and boy, he's got a pile drive, and he drives for about 7 yards. Nice gain by Tim Sullivan. Good blocking on the left side of the line.
One of the keys to the Winchester Sachems success will be Tim Sullivan. If he can get the big yardage, the 7, the 8, the 9 yards, this Winchester team is definitely going to have some big success here this afternoon, as we're seeing early in the football game.
They only gave him 5. They said his knee went down before he tumbled in for another couple of yards. So we got 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line of Watertown. Fakes it to Sullivan, and then he just keeps it himself and keeps driving. Nice second effort by Andy Sullivan. And he's close to another first down.
Well, that's the key. If you're a good quarterback, you have nobody open, you run the ball yourself, you pick up some yardage that maybe you wouldn't get, and you pick up some big yardage and you keep a play alive.
Boy, this is a wonderful down to be in 3rd and about a half a yard. Maybe see what Coach Donahue calls here.
3rd down, 1 yard to go.
2 downs to pick this one up, Al.
Yep. I believe there's a timeout. No. No, there's no timeout.
They come out with Tim Sullivan as the lone back. They've got Albiani split to one side and Damian Allen to the right side. Albiani goes in motion, gives to Albiani on the slant. He drives ahead for the first down. Just enough to get the first down. So it'll be first and 10 Sachums from the 24-yard line of Watertown.
What I'm noticing early in this game that the Winchester Sachums frontmen haven't done all season is pushing the line back, the Watertown line. They're pushing the guys back. They're not allowing those guys to get the surge to stop drives. That's great intensity by the Winchester men up front.
Yeah, they're getting a good line surge, and again, the key is getting Tim Sullivan 3-4 yards on his straight ahead drives. They come back in the full house set. Sullivan gives it ahead again to Tim Sullivan, and he gets 2-3 yards, a little bit less yardage that time as the Watertown defense flies to the ball and stops him for about a 2.5-3 yard gain.
Give the Raider defense a lot of credit on that play. They knew exactly what was coming. They were there to make the stop.
So it's 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line of Watertown. 5:08 left in the first quarter, and 7-0 Sachums.
2nd and 8 for the Sachums from the Red Raider 22-yard line.
Andy Sullivan comes under center. Fakes it to Tim Sullivan, pitches out to Damian Allen. He gets the left side, and it's a nice game by Damian Allen. They're short of the first down by about a half a yard, so they'll have 3rd and about a half yard.
An interesting call coming up here, Dale.
That was 28, Alanado. Alanado on that carry. Nice play by Andy Sullivan.
We've talked about it all year long. Andy Sullivan is definitely an intelligent quarterback. He doesn't panic. You give him the patience, you give him the time, he'll make big yardage happen.
So again, we've got 2 downs to make a yard and a half. It's 3rd and a yard from the 15-yard line. Again, they're in the big split. Tim Sullivan straight ahead. And he's going to get the ball and go straight ahead. And he gains little or nothing on that play. I don't think he's got the first down. That time, a nice play by number 68, John Deal, for Watertown to stop him short of a first down.
Well, what the Winchester Sachums don't want to happen is letting the Watertown defense get that line surge, as we talked about a few minutes ago. They want to stop that line surge. If they can stop the Raider line surge, the Winchester Sachums are in pretty good shape.
So big 4th down here for Winchester Sachums. Don't want to give the ball back to Watertown after neatly driving down to the 15-yard line. Full house set. Andy Sullivan fakes it. Takes it himself, got a little hole, got a little cut to the outside right side, he goes in for a touchdown. Beautiful read by Andy Sullivan.
Again, you got to give Andy Sullivan a lot of credit. Nobody was open. He elected to take the ball. He found an opening, and he went into the end zone. This is a great start for the Sachums.
It's 13-0 with 4:04 left in the first quarter, and Winchester Sachums firing on all cylinders at this point, Al.
Well, having talked with Coach John Donahue before the game, he said this was an excellent week of practice. Everybody was back. They were ready. They were healthy. And they were definitely determined to come out here and give Watertown one heck of a football game. And that's what they're doing right now.
Mazzillo with the point after, and it's good. And with 4:04 left in the first quarter, Winchester Sachums take a stunning 14-0 lead over the Watertown Red Raiders.
They've all, not to take anything away from the Watertown Red Raiders, they're an excellent football club, but this team is the Winchester Sachums are now definitely clicking on all cylinders.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Andy Sullivan, a tremendous read on that last touchdown. It was, again, the fake to Tim Sullivan, a little bit of sliding down the right side of the line. He recognized that he had the hole, and he took it to the outside and scored. And the band's got it cranked up. The fans have got it cranked up.
It's the first time all year that the Winchester band has had anything to cheer about. Okay, we got a replay coming up right here. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. Andy Sullivan calling the signals. Calling the signals. He takes the handoff. He sees nobody's open. He finds the hole, and he's going to go in for 6 points to put the Winchester Sachems on top, 13-0.
Now Rob Brasillo will kick off, and Watertown have to be wary of that line drive kick again. Would they try it twice in a row?
I don't think so.
Well, it's a little bit of a squib kick. It's picked off at the 30. He falls immediately to the ground. So they get good field position. That would be number 11, Andrew Allegro. And they're at their own 33-yard line.
Okay, the Winchester Sachems offense did their job. Now it's up to the defense to contain it.
And now with a 14-0 lead, this is the first time that the Watertown Red Raiders have been on the field with 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
It'll be interesting to see how the Raiders can respond to the 14 points.
34-yard line.
Well, I think that Coach McGovern was telling his troops not to panic. They gave up one touchdown on a long pass, the other touchdown on a drive after an onside kick. He just wants to get his offense to get in gear a little bit.
Well, I think the Red Raiders were a little bit shell-shocked after the 2 touchdowns.
Paul Fantasia under center with Dicker in the backfield. And he's going to give to Dicker on the counter. He tries to cut outside, sheds a tackle, jukes to the right side, gets up the left side, gets down to the sideline, picks up a first down. And boy, that's just pure running ability there, Al. They had 2 shots at him in the backfield, and he was just able to turn the corner and pick up nearly a first down.
Well, Tom Dicker is why the Raiders are 4-2 on the year. You want to be able to contain him. Not saying, I'm not saying that you're going to stop him, but you want to contain him, not for big yardage. You don't want plays like that to continue to happen because they will kill you.
So they give him just a 5-yard gain. They say he went out of bounds at about the 40. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Straight ahead that time. Gives it to DeRosa, straight ahead, and he picks up a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders at their own 45-yard line.
We see why the Watertown Red Raiders are 4-2 on the season, vying for 5-2 on the season. They're a team that does not quit.
And this is a team that also tied Wakefield. Excuse me, tied Stoneham, nearly beat Wakefield, had them beaten, and Dicker was out of the game. So this is a very capable team we're talking about.
They're a very explosive ball club. They're small, but they're explosive.
And Fantasia's under center. Gives it to Dicker on the counter. Makes a fake, cuts back. Boy, is he tough running. He picks up a tough 2 or 3 yards.
29, Tom Dicker. Brought down on the play of number 10, Dave Chamberlain.
So he kicks up about 3 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. 3:05 left in the first quarter.
Dave Chamberlain did a great job of bringing Dicker down.
Yeah, he
got him right by the ankles and brought him right down. That's what you want to do.
You got to plant this kid because if you try to arm tackle him, he's going to have a field day.
2nd down, 7 yards to go.
Fantasia under center. DeRosa and Dicker in the backfield. Gives it to DeRosa. No gain. Good stop that time by the Winchester Sachem defense.
They read that right from the beginning. They knew that play was going to happen, and they were right there to stop it.
That time, number 77, Bill Lanzo. And
3rd down, 8 yards to go.
You got 8 yards to go. And Dicker's in the full house backfield. They give to Dicker right side. No, he fakes it to Dicker and he takes it himself. Quarterback sneak, and he's going up the right sideline. He's at the 10. He's at the 15. He's going in for a touchdown. Nice play by quarterback Paul Fantasia.
Touchdown number 9, Paul Fantasia.
Boy, just as quickly, the Watertown Red Raiders get right back into the game.
Paul Fantasia does a great job of finding the open lane. Once he finds that open lane, it's 6 points. It's a great job.
Yeah, he did a great job of faking to Dicker that everybody was looking to take the ball and just scooted up the right sidelines, had a ton of real estate, and turned on the Jets.
As we told the viewers at home, Dale, this was going to be a whale of a football game, and it's starting out like that.
Well, right now it's a whale of a track meet.
Yeah.
14-6, and there's still 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Well, whenever these two teams play, it's always great football.
Number 29, Tom Dicker.
Dicker, who does that, Mr. Do Everything, comes in for the extra point. And that's good. Well, he drives it over the house, as we say. And it's 14-7 with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Well, the key now is for the Winchester offense just to go back to work, be able to match the ball down and respond by putting maybe 6 points into the end zone.
Now we have to watch, be careful that And Watertown doesn't turn the tables on them, try
Hey,
their own
anything's
version of the
possible.
onside kick.
Anything's possible.
Coach Donahue's telling his troops, okay, now, you know, they got theirs. Let's get back and do the offensive ability that we've had to move the ball so far. Let's keep it going.
Okay, let's take a look at that replay. That last touchdown by Watertown. Right here, Paul Fantasia's calling the signals. Right there, he fakes it off to Dicker. He doesn't find him open. He goes down the field for a quick 6. Nobody in sight to take this kid down.
Scott Brooks made the final lunge, but wasn't able to get him by the ankles, and Fantasia picks up the TD. Back deep to receive the kick for Winchester's Damian Allen, Mike Masiglia, and
Back for the Sachems, number 27, Jim Marr. 20, Mike Masiglia. 28, Jim Aldado. 26, Damian Allen.
Dicker will also do the kicking off for Watertown.
He has to be one tired athlete at the end of every football game.
You know, he's been doing it for 3 years. He's quite a football player.
He certainly is.
Oh, and he bangs it down. It's boats and it goes out of bounds. So that plays well for Winchester. They'll pick up good field position on their second drive from scrimmage.
And while we have this
now,
quick timeout, I just want to point out who the officials are today. The ref is Mike Rocha. The umpire is Scott McDougall. The linesman is Brian Platt. And the field judge is Bill McGowan.
Illegal procedure.
so they'll make him kick it again, and this time he'll kick from the 35.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty. The Red Raiders will re-kick.
And we also want to point out that thanks to Gloria Foods on 920 Main Street in Winchester for providing trophies for TV's 19 Player of the Game presentation at the conclusion of today's game.
So now Dicker kicks him 5 yards deep, and again he bounces it on the ground, takes a hop, goes to Jim Marr. He comes straight up the middle, 30, 35. He slips down at the 35. Good field position for Winchester.
Excellent field position. The first 3 possessions that the Winchester offense has had, they've had very, very good field position. Perhaps they can capitalize on this one too.
Boy, that wind's whipping up, and as the clouds cover the sun, it's getting a little bit chilly in Knowlton Stadium.
It certainly is. As you can hear the wind breezing through our press box here, Dale.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Andy Sullivan comes out in the full backfield. John Chase is split to the right. Gives it straight ahead to Allen. He's got a little bit of a hole. He picks up about 3.5 yards. He's out to the 38-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 7.
Andy Sullivan's doing a great job of handing the ball off to his backs in the backfield. They're finding the holes. They're getting the yardage. They may not always be getting 5-6 yards, but they're keeping the ball in possession. They're keeping the ball and moving the ball downfield, 3, 4, 5 yards, whatever they can get. That's still big plays.
So it'll be 2nd down and 7. He fakes it to Tim Sullivan, keeps it himself. They react to the ball fairly well. He picks up about 4 yards. Is there a fumble? No, they're saying Watertown picked it up. Fumble on the play.
Fumble on the play.
Wow, so big turnover there.
Turnovers also can play a
Looks
big.
like Tom Dicker picked up the fumble, and now Watertown's in business from the Winchester 40-yard line. From about the 43-yard line. It's first down for Watertown. So this game's turned around quick.
We talked about momentum. Right now, you have to give the momentum to the Watertown Red Raiders.
And we're still only in the first quarter. 1:15 left.
That's right. It's still an early football game. Anything can happen.
Now they come out in the I formation. DeRosa leading Dicker. Gives it to Dicker. He cuts back to the inside. Nice place by Chamberlain.
Chamberlain does a great job of containing Tom Dicker, not letting him get outside.
Chamberlain stopped him, and Carr cleaned up, and it's they picked up maybe a half a yard. It'll be 2nd and 10.
This is an important series for the Winchester defense. If they can stop the Watertown Red Raiders, they get the momentum back.
Oh, absolutely. Quarterback Paul Fantasia comes out under center. Again, this time they're in a full house backfield. Fakes it, gives it off, and he picks up about 7 yards on the left side, and that's number 35, Mark Tempero. So Mark Tempero calls the ball.
Mark Tempero brought down the play of number 8.
Got a third and about 4 yards to go. There's only 23 seconds left in the first quarter, 14-7. Sachems leading. There's a timeout on the field. Timeout, Winchester.
The
Timeout,
Sachems have called this timeout. They just want to discuss this. They're still up. They're still in good shape, 14-7. Donahue's just talking to his defense right now saying, hey, guys, you got to dig in. You got to stop the Raiders.
Well, right here is a big play. They'd like to hold them to a short game, although I believe in this kind of a game and where they are in the field position, they would take the chance on fourth down to go for it. Coach Donahue over on the sidelines, and there's the fans, the chilly fans, because the wind is really whipping. Now, this is the first winter weather we've had all year.
You have to give these faithful fans a lot of credit for coming out on such a chilly Saturday afternoon, Dale.
Absolutely. Coming up here with a big third down for Winchester defense. It's 3rd and 4 from their 38-yard line, from the Winchester 38. So they've had time to talk it over. We'll see what kind of play they come up with. Paul Fantasia comes out. Now the wind whips up. Again, they come out in the full house backfield again. This time they go straight ahead to Mr. Bread and Butter, Tom Dicker, and he's close to the first down.
Number 29, Tom Dicker.
I think it depends on the spot.
Yeah, he's very close though. If not, it'll be 4th and inches. And it looks like they're going to measure, Al.
That's the smartest thing they can do. Those are good officials out there. They're going to bring on the sticks just to make sure that it is a first down. If it's not, they're not going to take anything for granted in this game.
So with 6 seconds left in the first quarter, they're going to measure for a very important first down to Watertown. And it looks like they got the first down by the nose of the football. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Red Raiders from the 33-yard line of Winchester. And Watertown looks to keep their momentum going after picking up the fumble.
You have to give the Watertown Raiders a lot of credit for coming back in this football game. They were down 14-0, and they're driving. That's why they're 4-2.
And we get it. That's the end of the quarter. So that'll be the end of the first quarter with the score 14-7, Winchester Sachems.
And that's the end of the first quarter of play with the score, Winchester 14, Watertown 7.
These are Winchester cheerleaders and all fired up, a little bit chilly, but it's the end of first quarter. Again,
they always do a great job on
Winchester
the sidelines.
Sachems. Coach Donahue, Coach Pirani talking to his troops. I'd like to try to tell them, just play tough, try to keep them out of the end zone. With a 7-point lead, with the wind at their back, now they have the wind going the other way to make it a more of a difficult field goal attempt.
It will.
Now the
It'll be
sun comes
interesting.
out and temperature comes up about 10 degrees, Al. Every time that sun comes up.
Well, that's what it is in November when you're playing football.
Boy, the band as usual in fine form. Now they change ends of the field. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders as we open the second quarter.
The Winchester Sachems have to continue to do the good things that they did in the first half, in the first quarter.
Set. They give it a Dicker left side. He fakes inside, cuts to the outside, crashes through a tackle up the left sidelines, and he's gone. Tom Dicker into the end zone. Boy, what a run.
Woo!
Tom Dicker would not be denied on that play.
I mean, he was, somebody had a hold on him about 5 yards over the line of scrimmage, and he just blew through that tackle. And once he got that step, it was see you later.
Anytime a back like Tom Dicker gets that one step, he's gone.
And that's, boy, a quick turnaround as the Winchester opens up a quick 14-0 lead. Watertown answers right back, and it's they're an extra point away from making it a tie game.
Well, that's why Coach Paul McGovern has been a successful coach with the Waltham High School teams, and also now he's bringing that tradition to
Bad
Watertown.
Snap. Dicker has to pick it up at about the 15, and boy, he's going to go down this time. Nice play by number 20, Mike Masiglia. And that's a key extra point.
It really is. It could come back to haunt you later, Dale.
So, yes, exactly. The special teams are very important. You can see there that could come back to haunt you later, that being on the odd point there. So with 9:51 left in the second quarter, it's still Winchester clings to a 14-13 lead.
Just to touch on that little thing about Paul McGovern again. Paul McGovern was a very successful coach in Waltham. He's bringing that winning tradition to Watertown, and we're seeing why as the Watertown Red Raiders are having a successful year, Dale.
Yeah, they've been one of the surprise teams in the league this year. And, of course, having a Tom Dicker doesn't hurt.
No, absolutely not. He's going to be sorely missed.
So now Winchester will look to answer the Watertown momentum surge.
In to kick off for the Red Raiders, number 29, Tom Dicker.
So far, Al, it's been a play. It's been a game of big plays. You've had the long pass to Chase. You've had the long run by Dicker, the long run by Fantasia, and Andy Sullivan scooting into the end zone. And of course, the onside kick and the fumble. So there's been a couple of big turnovers and the big play.
What is the game of football? The game of football is big plays.
So now Dicker will kick off. He's got Damian Allen, Masiglia, and Mahar back. He boots it up. Comes down to Alenado at about the 15. He gets to the 20, cuts it back to the 30, gets a little bit of a block and gets it out to the 33-yard line. Good return by Jim Alenado. So they'll have 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Field position is also playing a big factor in this football game, too. You want to establish good field position.
Well, absolutely. In a game like this, the special teams and field position will be all important.
Andy Sullivan just has to continue to do the things that he's been doing, not panic. Okay, it's a 14-13 game. You can't worry about the score. You just have to go out there and play the game that you know how to play.
So he gets it straight ahead again. No, he fakes it back to Albiani. Looked like he faked it to Sullivan and gave it to Albiani around the right sideline. He picked up about 2.5, 3 yards, so we'll have a 2nd and 7.
That's a good call.
35-yard line.
That's a real good call. Watertown's defense knows that Tim Sullivan is the key, so they're trying to key in on him. Andy Sullivan goes to someone else that Watertown doesn't expect is going to get the ball.
7 yards to go.
It's 2nd and 7 from their own 35-yard line. Full house backfield. Sullivan fakes it, pitches it back to Albion. He's got a little bit of a lane. Oh, he pops the ball, but it goes back to Winchester. Boy, a fortuitous bounce there as John Chase gets it, and I think they're going to call a face mask against Watertown on top of it.
It's a game of chances.
Boy, Ben Albiani bubbling the ball, went right back to John Chase.
Well, when the ball goes right, it goes right. And on top of it, Winchester picks up a 5 extra yards on that penalty on the face mask.
And there's a face mask against Chase after he caught the fumble. So look at the ball at midfield and a big break for Winchester. That ball was bouncing up. Luckily for them, it went right to their man.
Well, as I just said, it's a game of chances. When the ball goes right, it definitely goes right. And right now, the ball's going all of Winchester's way.
So Andy Sullivan comes out under Artie Carr again in the full house backfield. Fakes it to Sullivan, step back to pass. He's got his man, he flips it out. He's got him again, oh, nice play. Number 9, Paul Fantasia, leaps up and makes a fingertip knockaway.
You got to give Paul Fantasia a lot of credit staying with Chase all the way on that one. Correction, that's number 10, David Chamberlain. He stayed right with him, wouldn't let him catch the ball.
Looked like Chamberlain had a step initially, but Fantasia was able to make it up on the pass and made a nice tip away at the last second. So now we got 2nd and 10 from midfield.
Let's take a quick look at that last touchdown by the Watertown Red Raiders on the next play. Right here, look at this. Sticker just goes into the end zone.
Strutting into the end zone. Again, the full house backfield. Sullivan flips it back to Damian Allen, and he cuts it back. Nice little drop. He picks up about 4 yards.
26, Damian Allen.
And that time Allen lowered his shoulder, was able to pick up another 1.5 yards, and he'll have 2nd and about 3rd and about 6.
What Andy Sullivan,
46-yard line.
What Andy Sullivan's also doing is he's mixing up the plays really well. He's going to all his backs in the backfield there. He's not keying in on one guy. He's not going just to Sullivan. He's going to everybody that he possibly can go to get the yardage and keep the ball.
So it'll be 3rd down, a big 3rd down for Winchester. 3rd and about 6. Albiani's in motion. He steps back to back. Same play. No, it goes right over the middle. He's at the 10. He's at the 15. He sheds the tackle. He's in for a touchdown. James Alenado. Jim Alenado. Again, a nice little play fake. He had Alenado streaking over the middle. Caught it for a 47-yard touchdown.
The key to that play was that Andy Sullivan was patient enough, waiting for his receiver to get open. Once he got that receiver open, it was 6 points.
Yeah, and Alenado was able to shed one tackle at about the 30, and he was just all the way into the end zone.
And that's the way you respond on the opposing team.
So Rosillo in for the very important extra point now as it's 20-13. This kick is up and it's good. So with 8:20 left in the second quarter, Winchester takes a 21-13 lead.
This has got to fire up the Winchester Sachems. I was talking with the coaches before the game. They said this game is the big game for the Winchester Sachems because a victory here can set the tone for the rest of the year.
Yeah, they'd like to get a win here against a real tough Watertown team, and again set up the momentum with a big game against Stoneham coming up. So far today, they've had a couple of nice pass plays set up with the play fake and nice touch by Andy Sullivan.
We got a replay on that last touchdown. Watch this. Andy Sullivan just so patient to his receiver, and it's 6 points as Dicker tries to bring him down. No luck. He's into the end zone for 6 points.
Yeah, Alanado outrunning Dicker that time. Dicker not able to bring him down.
Raiders, number 9, Paul Fantasia, and number 29, Tom Dicker.
Also, another key was that the guys up front were pushing the Watertown defense away to allow Andy Sullivan to throw that ball.
So Rob Rosillo to kick off.
As the wind is picking up again.
He pooches it. Oh, it bounces off a Watertown player, and he covers it at the 35-yard line. So number 83, Justin Snyder, was able to pounce on the ball after it bounced off his hands. And a good field position for the Red Raiders at their own 35 with 8:16 left in the first half.
Again, the defense has to go to work. They have to stop the Raider offense.
First and 10 for the Red Raiders at their own 35-yard line.
And not allow Dicker to get out and get big yardage.
So Watertown will look to answer the pass from Sullivan to Alanado. Now they come out in the full house backfield. Dicker deep in the eye. Gives it to Dicker. Takes a cut back on the right side. Boy, he's shedding tackles. Boy, is he tough to bring down. He picks up
really
7 yards and takes 3 guys with him.
Well, that's the key. That's the key for the Watertown Raiders. If you can get Dicker outside, you can allow him to get 5, 10, 15 yards. It's tough.
So you have second and 4 yards to go. And they come out in a 3-back set. Oh, they fumbled on the snap.
Fumble on the play.
And it looks like Watertown got it back. One of the linemen was able to, fortunately, fall on it. That'd been number 68.
Third down, 4 yards to go.
John Deal was able to land on the ball. So, again, almost disaster for Watertown. It'll be 3rd and 4, and a big 3rd down now for Watertown.
I think that's the Winchester defense coming at Paul Fantasia. Paul Fantasia may be hearing footsteps, and he may be panicking just a little bit.
That time he gives it straight ahead to Dicker. Boy, quick hitter, and he's one. Oh, boy, he was one guy away from going all the way.
29, Tom Dicker.
Boy, and I'll tell you, he was one. Dave Chamberlain doesn't trip him up. Tom Dicker's all the way up the sidelines.
Chamberlain came out of nowhere to stop Dicker.
Timeout Winchester.
So Winchester calls a timeout. They want to talk about what's going on. Coach Donahue doesn't look too happy.
I wouldn't be too happy with that one either, Dale.
That time, that was just a quick hitter to Dicker. I mean, he got some daylight in the backfield, and again, he was one ankle stop from going all the way.
Certainly was.
So again, we've got a seesaw battle here with 7:04 left in the first half. It's 21-13 in favor of Winchester Sachems.
Did you expect anything different between these two clubs?
Well, I didn't know if they'd score that many points this early in the game. 7 minutes left.
Well,
so plenty of time to tack it up.
Well, this Watertown team is definitely a potent offense with Dicker and Paul Fantasia. The Winchester Sachems have been looking to explode all year long. This is why this game is very, very tough to call.
So it's 1st and 10 for Watertown at the 48-yard line of Winchester. Again, they're in the full house set. They give it to the second back. He gets a little room to the left side. He sheds the tackle, nearly fumbles, but picks up nearly another first down, and that's 35, Mark Temperio. And he's got the first down.
You got to give Mark Temperio a lot of credit. He followed that lead blocker as we talked about. Once that lead blocker opens up the hole, you're able to get the big yardage. And Watertown gets another big yardage with Mark Temperio.
Well, they're getting good blocking on that left side of the line now.
They really are. They're doing a great job on that left side, as you said, Dale.
1st down and 10 from the Winchester 33-yard line. And again, they go into the full set. They go Dicker the other way, and good tackle that time by Winchester.
29, Tom Dicker. He's stuck on the play with number 80, Jake Lennon.
Jake Lennon made an excellent stop on Dicker, man-to-man.
He read it really well. He just stopped him. That's what you want to do. You're not gonna be able to contain Dicker. I mean, you're not gonna be able to completely stop him. What you want to do is slow him down as best as you can.
So it's now 2nd and a long 8 for Watertown. Again, the full house set. They go left side again to Temperio. He gets good blocking, gets into the secondary, and picks up about 6 yards.
35, Mark Temperio.
So it'll be 3rd and about 2.
What you want to do now is get tough. Those 2 yards, you want to stop them. The defense has to dig in and be tough.
Actually, it'll be a long 2, more closer to
Gain of
3
6 yards
yards.
to play.
This is an interesting call, though. Do you run the ball or do you throw the
Third
ball?
down, 3 yards to go.
Well, I think they're going to do it in 2 plays anyway, Al, so I think you're going to see Dicker left and maybe Dicker right. And first is Dicker left. He cuts it back, and he's able to pick up the 1st down. So that time they go out of the fullback set to give it to Dicker left side where they've been getting good blocking, and he picks up the 1st down.
That left side of the Watertown team has done a great job of being able to allow Dicker to get outside and get the big yardage.
So it'll be 1st down for Watertown at the 20-yard line on Winchester. Again, they're in the full house set. They fake it. They go back the other way with Temperio, and he picks up about 4 yards going to the left side of the line.
35, Mark Temperio.
So you'll have 2nd and about, well, he actually picked up almost 5 yards. So you have 2nd and about 5.5, 6 yards.
This is, you know, even though Watertown's not big in numbers, they're very small, but they will kill you. They will kill you with the 5, the 6-yard plays.
So they come out in the full house set with Dicker deep in the eye. 2nd and 5. They give it to Dicker left side. He's got a lead block. He slips up a little bit. Picks up about 1.5 yards, 2 yards, but he slipped up just as he was making his cut.
Even though he slipped, he still got something out of the play.
So now you have a 3rd down and a long 2. With 4:30 left in the 1st half, it's 21-13 in favor of Winchester Sachems.
Thus far, both teams are looking really strong. It's been an offensive showdown.
Fantasia comes out under the center. He's in the full house set with Dicker deep in the eye. Gives it to Dicker left side. There's a penalty flag down. Dicker cuts it back, and he's close to the 1st time, but we have a penalty. I think this one's going to go against Watertown. Some sort of a motion penalty. It came early.
Well, you know what's interesting this year is all the ball clubs that we thought would be potentially Middlesex League division champs, the Woburns, the Winchesters, really haven't responded. But the Watertowns, the Wakefields, and the Reddings have really come alive this year.
Well, I think Reading was figured to be one of the top teams, but I think Wakefield, you're right. I think definitely Wakefield was not picked to be that high up, and I think Winchester was picked a little higher. And you never know in this league. This is up and down. This league is no cakewalk. That's for sure.
It's a very competitive league. By far, it's probably one of the better leagues in Massachusetts.
So I was wrong. That was a penalty against Winchester. Must have been in the neutral zone. So it'll be first and goal for the Red Raiders. And again, they give it to Dicker left side. He's got a convoy. He's sweeping left side. He just sheds tackles and goes into the end zone. Tom Dicker, hard running.
29, Tom Dicker.
This Tom Dicker is unbelievable.
Well,
just when you think you got him stopped, you can't stop him.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy, when you get a lick on him, you gotta get your arms wrapped and you gotta get some help, because he's just not gonna go down from an arm tackle or one little pop.
What you're saying is you need 2 or 3 guys just to bring him down.
Well, that's the way it's been. He's been a 3-year starter, and it's now 21-19, and again, a crucial extra point. Will they go for 2 here, or will they just go for the 1?
I would say you try to go for 2.
I would think they might want to even it up early, not wait till late in the game. And they're going to call a timeout to discuss it. So with a timeout on the field, it's Winchester 21, Watertown Red Raiders 19, and it's still 3:43 left in the half.
Well, this game hasn't really surprised me at the score or the teams. This Winchester team is definitely a good ball club. They just haven't had the bounces go their way early in the season.
Well, so far, I'm a little surprised about how quickly both teams are able to get their scores. We've had 2 long passes on the Winchester end. We've had 1 long run by Tom Dicker, 1 pretty long run by Fantasia, and then another nice run by Dicker. They haven't held on to the ball too long. I mean, they've been scoring quickly in this game, Al. There's some of the fans on the sidelines. Coach Donahue exhorting his troops. If they're going to go for 2, this would be a key play in the game right here, this extra point.
This is this is an interesting situation. What are they going to do?
Well, they'll be looking for Dicker, but they may not go to Dicker thinking that Winchester's looking that way. So they come out in the full house set again. Goes fake straight ahead, pitches it to Dicker left. Boy, he's got somebody on him, but he gives a little juke fake. Drives, tries to get in the end zone, and it's no good. He's down. Nice containment, nice play by the Winchester Sachems.
That's two. That's two good plays that the Winchester defense has done early in this game. First one was the extra point that Watertown missed. This is the second one.
And that time, that was the way to play Tom Dicker. They had 3 guys on him to hold him out of the end.
What did I say?
The extra point. So with 3:43 left in this first half, Winchester clings to a 21-19 lead.
Well, Coach McGovern was thinking like I was thinking. It's a 21-19 ball game. They know how potent the Winchester offense is. They want to establish themselves. That's the Watertown team, that is. They want to get something into the scoreboard, maybe go in at halftime up 22-21 and having the momentum going their way, because the momentum has shifted so far in this ball game. You want to be able to establish something. Neither club has really gotten the momentum to go their way for the entire first half. It's been a game of miscues.
Back and forth.
Back and forth, exactly. Let's take a look at this replay of the last touchdown by Watertown. Actually, it's the 2-point conversion. Watch this, watch this. See this? 3 guys right on him, and they stop him. It's a great job.
So Allen's back deep for the kickoff with Alanado and Masiglia. Tom Dicker will be kicking off. I think Tom Dicker will probably be selling hot dogs and giving out programs at halftime.
Probably.
This time he just line drives it, and that one looks like it's headed out of bounds. And it is, so he'll have to kick that one again. So no time comes off the clock. He'll have to kick it from the 35. So Winchester should get good field position for this drive.
They should.
Legal procedure against the Red Raiders.
So if the wind is still
They'll
blowing,
move back 5 yards.
they'll try
They'll re-kick.
to get as much on this one as he can, but Winchester should get good field position. And he pooches it on the ground, bounces off a Winchester man. He picks it up at about the 30, gets to the 35, just goes right to the middle to the 40, 45. Nice run. Real good field position. Number 27, Jim Marr. Nice hard running, and it's first down, and excellent field position for the Sachems.
What he did was he just followed the nice block that was up front. He just followed the ball right down the field and got Winchester into good field position with about 3:20 left in this first half.
And the nice thing was he didn't hesitate. He just took the ball and went right to the middle, right straight ahead, got what he could get.
Once a receiver hesitates, it's curtains. You'd never hesitate on a run back. You get as much yardage as you can, and you just keep going.
Sullivan gives it to Tim Sullivan. Big haul up the middle. Boy, and he stood up, but he just drives for a first down. Boy, and he was one ball play away from going all the way.
Well, that's a great job by Tim Sullivan. He saw the hole. Once he had the ball, he got big yardage and keeps the drive alive.
Boy, number 11, Allegro, made a nice face-to-face tackle that time to stop the tough-running Tim Sullivan from going all the way.
Well, you got to give the guys up front a lot of credit. I keep saying that, but that's the key. Those guys up front do all the hard work for Tim Sullivan, and Tim Sullivan appreciates those guys.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of Watertown. To give it to Sullivan again, another big hold. And he picks up another 8 or 9 yards, close to another first down. And right now, you're right, Al, the Winchester's getting some excellent blocking up front from number 77, Bill Lanzo, number 74, John Levitt, Anthony Russo, 73, and, of course, Captain Artie Carr, 53.
Well, that's the key. You know, all year long, the Winchester Sachems haven't been able to do that. Now they're able to do that, and you're seeing the big yardage turned in by Tim Sullivan.
Boy, and they're in a good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Fakes it. Andy Sullivan's got a nice lane to run the right side. He's at the 25. He's down at the 23-yard line and whipped out of bounds by Tom Dicker.
Ooh, he's lucky he didn't get a flag on that one.
Yeah, it was close. The momentum, it might have called it for a little bit extra at the end. But he's down at the 23-yard line, and it's first down, and Winchester's back in gear again.
Andy Sullivan calling the offense, doing a great job. He's faking out the Watertown Raider defense. I mean, they're thinking that it's a run. Once they get into that run mode, Andy Sullivan's able to run the ball and keep the ball alive and get big yardage.
So John Chase is split out to the left side. Sullivan under center, full house backfield. Gives it to Tim Sullivan. No, fakes it to Tim Sullivan. Flips it back to Albiani, but he's stopped with no gain. Good reaction that time by Watertown, and again Allegro is there. Andrew Allegro.
Brought down by number 11, Andrew Allegro.
Good reaction to hold him to no gain. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line with 2 minutes left in the half.
As we've praised the Winchester defense, we've also got to praise the Watertown defense. They're doing a nice job of keeping the ball, containing the ball, not allowing Winchester to really get the big plays off, except for one with Tim Sullivan.
So now we're looking at a 2nd and 10 from the 23-yard line. And I think Coach Donahue would love, if he doesn't get in the end zone, at least to eat up the clock and go into halftime with the lead. But boy, they're in the scoring zone now. They'd like to get another score on the board. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there's our camera. Cameras on the booth and cameras all over the place. These guys do such a great job, our camera people.
Yeah, they do an excellent job, and it's just they take a lot of pride in what they do, and it shows in the product that we put out week after week.
And we're very proud of it here at TV 19.
Kudos to producer Don Cronin and his crew. Andy Sullivan under center. He fakes it one way, comes back the other way with Allen. Allen's got a little bit of a hole. He picks up 2 or 3 yards. This is right in the interior line. This is either going to be a hold against Winchester or it's going to be at face mask. And it looks like it's going to hold. It's a hold against Winchester. Boy, a tough time for that call to come up.
It really is. But, you know, those things are going to come up. You got to say forget it, suck it up, just come back and try to get the play again.
So now they're going to have 2nd and long.
Flag in the play.
And boy, that's the big one. That's a 10-yarder. So it's going to be.
Holding against the Sachems.
It's going to be 2nd. Oh, they called it from the spot. So it's about the 17-yard line. So you're looking at about 2nd and 17. They called it from where the foul occurred.
Well, that's the new rule now. It's from where the infraction occurs.
So now you got Andy Sullivan under center. Chase split out to the left side. Oh, he got them to jump, and now they're offside. So it looks like Winchester will pick up 5.
Flag in the play.
Great job by Andy Sullivan of drawing the Watertown defense offsides.
Yeah, he must have changed his cadence because he got them all coming. So now they pick up 5 of that 7 they lost on the penalty. So it'll be about a 2nd and about 12, 13. From their own 26-yard line, you have about 13 yards for a first down. Again, it's 2nd down. Chase comes out wide to the left. Andy comes under center, full house backfield. Fakes it to Tim Sullivan, pulls it back in, sees the lane, cuts it on the right side, gets his head down. Boy, and Andy Sullivan sticks his head down and picks up another 2 yards.
Andy Sullivan's not afraid to run the ball. He has nobody open. Rather than take a loss, he gets something out of it.
Tough run, and now we'll have a timeout on the field.
Timeout, Sachem.
They want to discuss this. They've got a 3rd down and about, it looks like about 6.5, 7 yards. Again, though, they're in 2-down territory.
Take a little bit at a time in this situation.
Although with the wind at their back, another few yards, they possibly would be in Rob Basillo's field goal range.
It'll be an interesting situation when we get down to that. But I know Coach Donahue would like to have 7 going into halftime, being up perhaps 28-19.
Well, 28-19 is a real big.
That's a big
boost
swing,
because even with another touchdown and the 2 points, you still keep the lead. That's why that 2nd extra point try, where they tried for 2, was a big play in this game.
Well, I think that was a key right now, and I also think the extra point that Watertown missed is also another factor that could come back later to haunt the Watertown team.
And this will be a key for the Watertown defense is to keep them away from this first down and go in only down 2 points. John Chase is split way out to the right side.
3rd down, 7
Chamberlain
yards
in
to go.
tight. They come out in the split backfield. Andy Sullivan, the lone setback. They got motion. They give it to the motion man. He cuts it, gets a little lane outside. He gets a block. He cuts it back to the 10. He's going in for the touchdown. Nice block that time. Boy, John Levitt threw one hellacious block to get Alanado into the end zone.
That's the key. You get the right block, and it's 6 points as Alenado gets in for 6 points. As we talked about, the 6 points being a big factor. Winchester responds.
And that's the second one for Alenado today. One on the pass, on the slant pass, and that time, the nice block by John Levitt on the left side, leading the convoy, and just he waltzed into the end zone.
You got to give John Levitt a lot of credit. Boy, did he really hit that guy with a lot of impact to spring Alenado free.
So Rosillo comes up, and the kick is blocked. And it's covered by Watertown, so now they give them a little bit of what happened to them. So it's 27-19, and they're within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tying it up.
But this is a big lift for the Winchester Sachems right now, being up 27-19. First time in a long time that I can remember a Winchester team this year being up on top.
Yeah, and it was nice the way they drove down the field. It was a nice mix of running with Tim Sullivan, some nice options by Andy Sullivan, and then they did the motion to Alenado and got a little convoy going out on the left side, and he was able to waltz in. And boy, this is, like I said, this has been a bit of a track meet out. We've had a little bit of defense, but it's mostly been an offensive fireworks in this half.
Well, you got two good quarterbacks out here. You got Paul Fantasia of Watertown, and you got Andy Sullivan of Winchester. Both quarterbacks are potentially explosive quarterbacks, as we've seen so far.
And with 1 minute left in the half, this isn't over. The last thing you can do now is get a kickoff to Dicker. I think they'll try to kick it away from him.
They'll try to squib kick it, maybe.
Yeah, they don't want to get a deep kick to Dicker and let him get ahead of steam. Oh, they're going to try a pooch kick or an onside. Boy, they got it. They got a shot at it. It looks like they might have it again. It's Winchester ball. And again, the second onside kick. And this was a perfect onside kick. He squibbed it along the ground. No Watertown person was able to get to it. Winchester had a convoy on the ball and were able to recover.
You got to give the Winchester team a lot of credit. The special teams
comes up with the ball.
Big.
Huge play in this half. And Winchester now, they're in good field position at the 40-yard line where they have a chance to go in for another score.
This is what Winchester's been waiting for all year. They've been waiting for the breaks to come their way. And now they're coming. You got to give the special teams a lot of credit. I mean, you got to give Coach John Donahue and his staff a lot of credit. You try the onside kick again, and you're successful. How many times does that happen in a game?
Boy, and I'll tell you, you're right. It took a lot of guts. The first one was a surprise, but that one there might have been even more of a surprise.
Okay, we're going to take a look at some on the last play here. Look at this. This is going to be a real nice play. Now, Andy Sullivan calling the signals, looks for Albani, but John Levitt's going to put the block on that he needs right there, and he goes in for the 6 points.
And that was the big block, and he went in for 6. And then, of course, the onside kick was perfectly done. I mean, it scooted right through the front line of Watertown where the big lineman couldn't chase it down. It was in what you might call the dead zone, and they were just able to get there before anybody with any speed in Watertown could get to the ball. Rob Brasillo, excellent on the kickoffs today.
They've executed it really well. What did we say? Football is a game of offense, defense, and special teams. And Winchester has done all three correctly thus far in this ball game.
So you got John Chase out to the left. They're in the one-back set. He fakes it. Andy Sullivan goes back pass. He's looking for Chase. Boy, he's got good coverage. He comes back to the ball and gets it. And he's got that at the 10. He's dragging him into the 8-yard line.
Unbelievable.
Boy, and John Chase just made an excellent play that time, coming back to the ball to outfight Fantasia for it. And Winchester is in great shape at about the 8-yard line of Watertown.
Again, it's just the patience of Andy Sullivan waiting for his receivers to get open. The receiver did a great job of getting open, even with Paul Fantasia on him. Great job by Andy.
From the 10-yard line.
So Chase is out to the left side. They come out in the fullback set. He calls them offsides again. There's the flag. They're going to pick up 5. He pitches it out to Albiani. He stopped it. They're going to pick out 5. Watertown's offside. So at 42 seconds, they're going to have a 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line.
This is a healthy Winchester team, and we're seeing the results of a healthy Winchester team and a great week of practice.
Yeah, they're really firing on all cylinders. That time, though, Al, that was a great individual play by John Chase. Andy Sullivan just kind of threw that ball up in the air, and Chase just was able to adjust to it and make a great leaping catch.
Well, good receivers in high school are always able to adjust, and John Chase definitely adjusted very well to the play. But you got to give Andy Sullivan a lot of credit. Andy Sullivan was patient. He knew the defenders were coming for him. He just waited just in time for John Chase to adjust to the ball, and then he released it so that they could get the big play.
Yeah, excellent play. Now they're in business. They're at about the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. Plenty of time left, 42 seconds.
Referee at the 5-yard line.
Chase a split to the left side, full house backfield. Sullivan, he gives it, he fakes it to Andy Sullivan, comes down left side, pitches it back, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 1.5 yard line. Damian Allen gets out of bounds at about the 1.5 yard line, so he'll have second and about 1.5 yards for a touchdown for Winchester. But the main thing is he stopped the clock by going out of bounds.
He did. That's a great job by Damon Allen. They want to have a little more time on the clock, so you get the play, you get out of bounds. But also, Andy Sullivan has done a great job of going to his backs in the backfield. He's gone to Damon Allen. He's gone to Albani. He's gone to everybody, and you're seeing the results of it.
Full house backfield. Gives it straight ahead to Tim Sullivan. Boy, he's close to the goal line. He's down at about the 1 foot line, so there's 30 seconds left, and it'll be a timeout by the Sachems.
Ball carrier number 42, Tim Sullivan.
Boy, they're in really great shape here with 27 seconds left. They only have to get the point of the football over the line. I would say Tim Sullivan is a good bet to pick up the point of the football here.
Possibly.
So a little roll of the dice, a little gambling by the John Donahue coaching staff to do the pooch kick, onside kick, and pick up the ball, and then to capitalize on it.
Why not?
Everything's
You
fired pretty well for the Winchester offense today.
Why not? You take a few chances in a football game, and sometimes you know, as you say, you throw the dice. Sometimes you get lucky, and in this case, the Winchester Sachems have been very lucky. And we, thanks to Gloria Foods on 920 Main Street in Winchester for providing trophies for TV19's Player of the Game presentation at the conclusion of today's game. It's going to be a very tough MVP.
I think this is going to be it's going to be tough to pick one today. This is going to be, I mean, you know, there's a variety of plays. You can use a quarterback sneak, Tim Sullivan straight ahead. Just get a little line surge and get the TD. Andy Sullivan under center. They're stacking it up. He gives it to Albiani. He goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Ben Albiani.
Ben Albiani.
So the Winchester Sachems take a 33-19 lead and a big score with 22 seconds left in the first half.
All the linemen had to do was just open up just a little bit of a hole. They did that, and Ben Albiani was able to sneak in for the 6.
For the Sachems, number 48,
Rob Rizzolo come in. They will go for the 1 point. They want to try to, if they get this, they'll have the 15-point lead. Rizzolo's kick is up, and it's good.
Let's take a quick look at that last touchdown. There it is right here. You're going to watch these up front do a great job to allow Ben Albiani to get into the end zone for the 6 points.
So Winchester Sachems take a 34-19 lead with 22 seconds left, and this is a bit of a shocker for those who've been watching the Middlesex League all year. We know that Winchester's firing on all cylinders, but Watertown has been super tough. Is in for the toughest game so far that they've been in, it looks like.
Well, you know, anytime that Watertown teams come into Winchester, I was talking with the coaching staff before we went on the air, Dale, and they said this was going to be the toughest game that they had all year long because they knew the caliber of the Winchester teams. They knew that the Winchester teams have been a little bit so-so all year long, but they said that this was going to be their toughest test, and so far it has been.
So Rob Rizzolo will look to they want to eat up the last 22 seconds, and I doubt very seriously if you'll see Tom Dicker get the ball anywhere near him.
I don't think so.
With 22 seconds left. The last thing you want is Dicker running one back on you.
No.
And again, he pooches it on the ground. It bounces, picked up. Wow, nice hit that time.
Great job.
That's a number 34 for Winchester, Jeff Davis. Excellent hit.
That's a hit to say, hey, we're up. We're going to make you pay for it.
A little bit of momentum there.
Right.
Okay, so Watertown will take over at their own 37-yard line with only 18 seconds left in the half.
Coach John Donahue has to be very pleased at what he's seeing out here so far. His defense has done a terrific job. His offense, led by Andy Sullivan, has done a really nice job. And the biggest thing of all, the special teams play.
So they come out in the shotgun. Fantasia's going to look to go deep. No, he hands off to Dicker. Dicker takes it up the middle. Boy, got a little bit of a hole. Cuts to the left side. Cuts it back to the middle. And Tom Dicker's down at about the 35-yard line. And I'll tell you, you can never take your eyes off this kid. There's 9 seconds left in the half.
He is so explosive. Just when you think you've got everything going your way, Tom Dicker puts a wrench into it.
He gets up limping a little bit after that play. Remember, Dicker was coming into this week with a little bit of a leg bruise, and he's a little bit limping after that last play.
That's another thing about Tom Dicker. He's got a lot of heart. He could have sat out this week and said, hey, Coach, I'm hurt. I'm not going to come in. I'm not going to play. But Tom Dicker is not that type of an athlete. He knows he wants to play. He gets in there and he plays hard. He plays 110% every week, and he's done that for the last 3 years.
Well, and I'll tell you, he was one tackle away from making this a very interesting game. So this time they come out in the I set. There's only 9 seconds left. So Winchester's aim here will just be to keep him out of the end zone.
Watch that wing back on the wing back.
Now they got to push the band away from the sidelines. So 9 seconds to go. It's 34-19, and boy, this has been non-stop action in this game. The statisticians are going to have
They're going to have their
writer's
hands full.
cramp at halftime.
Mark Nato over here has just been writing right from quarter number 1. Mark's done a great job with the stats.
Fantasia goes straight back to pass. He's looking way downfield. He's got nobody open. Now he starts to scramble, takes it up the left side, cuts it back to the middle, cuts it back, gets a good block, goes up the left side, but he finally goes down in the corner ends. And what an exciting first half.
It's been a great
Winchester
first half.
34-19 Watertown. And Watertown nearly comes back and gets it back on the board. And we're back at halftime in cold and frosty Knowlton Stadium. It's really whipped up a win here today, and we've seen quite a game. We've got a 34-13, it's 34-19 Winchester Sachem over Watertown Red Raider lead, and it's been quite a first half, Al.
It really has. It's been a show of the quarterbacks, Paul Fantasia for Watertown and Andy Sullivan for Winchester. Both quarterbacks doing a great job. This was a game that many thought that Watertown would come in and dominate. Winchester's really surprising a very good Watertown team.
Yeah, I think Winchester with the 2 onside kicks has really capitalized on both of them. Andy Sullivan's been sharp. You throw in Jim Alanato's couple of scores, and right now Winchester's flying on all cylinders, and I think they just have to do a little bit of the same thing in the second half to come away with the victory. So we'll be back with second half action in just a minute.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Rob Brazillo kicks off, and he booms it end-to-end. This time they go downfield. Fantasia gets the ball at the 25, cuts to the 30, got a lane at the 35 to the 40, top side of the 45, and look out, boys, he's gone. Paul Fantasia's gone on the kickoff. Chase dives at him and misses, and it's a 75-yard return by Paul Fantasia of Watertown, and this game's right back into a ball game.
Well, we saw fireworks in the first half. Don't expect anything different here in the second half as Paul Fantasia lights it up for the Raiders.
And it's the first time that Winchester elected to kick away, and now we see why they didn't want to kick away earlier in the game. Fantasia just made an excellent cut at the middle of the field, cut it to the left sideline, and he was gone.
82-yard kick return for a touchdown for the Red Raiders.
Excellent job by Paul Fantasia. Paul Fantasia just got a great lead block. Once he got that lead block, he was able to spring free, and for 75 yards. Great piece of running by Paul Fantasia.
Officially, Dal, I think they're calling it 82. He might,
wow.
Depends on where he grabbed the ball.
Well, we'll wait for our statistician's Mark Nato over here. He's diligently putting it together.
So we got a 34-25 game, and we'll see what Watertown elects to do here for the extra point, trying to even up those 2 extra points that they missed. They're down 9 points.
I'd be interested in seeing an instant replay on that one. Okay, let's take a quick look at it right now. Look at this. They're just at the end of that run as he goes in for the 6 points.
Boy, number 9 made a valiant effort, John Chase, to try to
really
get him,
did.
but Fantasia was gone. I think they'll go for 2 here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That'll put them down an even 7 if they were to make the 2 points.
Well, we were talking about that at the break. We were talking about great games that Winchester and Watertown have played through the years, and what happens? A big play open.
Opening kickoff. Here we go, full house backfield. Fantasia under center. He's going to give to you-know-who, Dicker. Dicker stopped cold in his tracks. Again, they stop him cold for no gain.
Nice response by the defense.
Boy,
the defense said, no 2 points.
Number 72, Brian Nelson with the big stop right at the point of attack. And It's a 9-point game.
I think that's always been a key for the Winchester defense. For the Winchester team has always been their defenses. The defenses have always been able to rise to the occasion when they've needed to, and they've done that. They did that in that play, allowing Dicker not to get the 2 points and to put Watertown within 7 points.
Well, the thing is, now they're 9 down. It's definitely even if they score a touchdown with 2 extra points, they have to score twice in order to take the lead in this game.
Well, this is where the Watertown, this is where I should say the Winchester offense has to go back into that offensive explosion as they had in the first half and continue to march the ball down the field. Andy Sullivan cannot get impatient. He has to continue to do the good things that he did, be able to mix up the ball, be able to throw the ball, as well as pass the ball.
Well, I think that, again, they have to stay on the attack mode because Watertown's going to keep coming at them. And the way this game's been going, it may be the last team with the ball.
That's what it's going to come down to.
So Dicker will kick off. And again, 16 seconds, only 16 seconds have elapsed, and it's a 34-25 game. Back deep for Winchester is Damian Allen, Mike Masiglia, and Jim Mahar. That would be James Alenado. And Masiglia fields it at about the 15, gets to the 20, cuts back to the 25, gets a little hold to the 30, drives through to the 35. Nice hard running by Mike Masiglia.
Well, we talked about that. When guys are returning punts back, you never hesitate. You always catch the ball and you continue to run. You get as much yardage as you can. You put your team in good field position.
So Mike Masiglia will be at the 35-yard line, 34-yard line. Winchester has 1st and 10 to go.
Just a quick, interesting statistic. In the first half, Tom Dicker had 108 yards.
So Sullivan's under center, full house backfield.
No, outside eye.
They go out to the flip. Oh, it's pitched back, and it's recovered by Watertown. Boy, a missed pitch that time. He tried to pitch back, and it flipped back behind him, and Watertown recovers. Number 35 for Watertown. Mark Temperio falls on the ball, and now switch of momentum again back to Watertown Red Raiders.
We talked about that throughout the first half, momentum playing a big factor. Winchester
First down, Watertown.
And thus far, Watertown capitalizes on an opportunity.
Well, we said turnovers would be a key to this game, and so far it has been, counting the onside kicks also. So it's 1st and 10, and they come out in the full T set. They go back to Perio, and he picks up about 4 yards on the left side.
Ball carrier number 35, Mark Perio.
Down to the Winchester defense being able to stop the Watertown offense.
Brought down by number 55, Bill Shields.
So we'll have a 2nd and 6 from the Winchester 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. Oh, they only give them 2 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
2nd down, 8 yards to go.
9:05 left, early in the 3rd quarter. Again, they come out in the wing T set. They go straight ahead that time to DeRosa. DeRosa picks up about 2 yards, 2.5 yards.
Great job by the defense. The defense is doing a nice job of containing the Watertown offense, not allowing the backs in the backfield to get out and get the big yardage.
So now it's a 3rd down and a long 4 for the Watertown Red Raiders. And it's a key series for them. They got the turnover. They want to capitalize on it. So far, it's been 2 plays away from Dicker. I think you're going to see Mr. Dicker on the next 2 plays.
Absolutely.
This time they give the Dicker left side. He gets a little bit of hole. He cuts back outside. He's still shedding tackles, and he's gone again. Tom Dicker, hard running, goes in from 29 yards.
Tom Dicker.
Boy, and just like that, Watertown's right back in the game.
He is so quick. Just when you think you've got him down, he springs free and scores.
And not just quick, he's just very, very strong. He just dragged people until he got free and picked up the touchdown. And now it's a 34-31 game. And again, Watertown will probably go for 2.
Oh, they're going to have to go for 2. They want to get themselves back into this game. If they are successful,
they're going to go for 1.
They're going to go for the 1.
You attempt the extra point for the Red Raiders, number 29.
They've tried the 2 points twice, Al, and it hasn't worked. So they figured maybe we should go back and try to get a point out of this. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide to the right. So they've had a horrific time with the extra points.
They certainly have.
Otherwise, this would be a tie game, but it isn't. It's still Winchester Sachems 34. Watertown Red Raiders 31.
Let's take a quick look at that last touchdown by the Watertown Raiders. Right here. Here we go.
And they come out in the
Paul Fantasia's looking for his back in the backfield, and we all know who that is. That's number 29, Tom Dicker. A quick handoff. just when Winchester thinks they've got him contained,
Oh.
he springs free and goes
Boy.
into the end zone for 6.
Boy, is he tough.
He is tough. We want to remind the viewers that at home to sit back, relax. At the end of this game, we're going to have the player of the game, which has been tough for us. We've already discussed it. We've tossed around a few names.
We still got a whole half to go, Al.
I know.
So with 8:15 left to go, it's a 34-31 game.
We get word up here in the press box that Tom Dicker has gone over 1,000 yards. We congratulate Tom Dicker on a great accomplishment, Dale.
He's had a great great and a well-deserved, good kid. So now Dicker bounces it off the ground. It's picked up by Alanado, who has 2 touchdowns. He's at the 25 to 30, 35, and he's driving through 36-yard line. So Alanado, who's come up big today, he's got the touchdown on the pass and the touchdown on the run, and now a nice return, and Winchester in good field position.
They really are. They're in a very, very nice field position right at about maybe midfield there. What Andy Sullivan has to do is he has to forget the score. It's 34-31. Forget that. Just concentrate on what he wants to do out here. He has to take charge as he did in the first half.
So Chase is out to the left. Full house backfield with Sullivan on the center. Gives it to Tim Sullivan, and he is smacked in the backfield for a loss.
Give the Watertown defense credit that time. They read it really well. They were able to sniff it out and stop it.
And right now, the Watertown is all fired up, and as of course you think they might be with 2 quick scores.
You have to give them a lot of credit. I mean, they were down. They were a dejected ball club in the first half. They didn't think they could get back into this ball game. Paul Fantasia comes out and goes down the field for what we believe was 82 yards unofficially, and that puts Watertown right back into this ball game.
So we got the 2nd and 11. Sullivan fakes it, looking for the pass. He's got his man down the sideline. Oh, nearly caught by John Chase off the fingertips. Boy, he had a step on Fantasia, just incomplete.
Andy Sullivan did a great job of coming out of the pocket, finding the open receiver, John Chase. Chase just couldn't hang on to it. If he had hung on to that, that would have gone for big yardage and possibly 6.
Yeah, he had to throw it the way he threw it.
He did a good job.
He had to lead him a little bit, and if anything, to overthrow him instead of underthrowing it. So it's a big, huge 3rd down here for Winchester Sachems. 3rd and 11 from their own 34-yard line. Sullivan fakes it, runs down the left side. He looks, he cuts back. He cuts to the outside. He's looking for the flag, and it's a 1st down or close to it. Andy Sullivan, hard running to the right side, and he picks up the 1st down or close to it. Will depend on the spot.
Well, Andy Sullivan
And he got the 1st down.
Andy Sullivan did a great job. Had no receivers open. Saw a lane. He knew exactly what he needed for a 1st down and went for that marker.
That's the great thing about the option play. He has the option to run or throw the quick pass. That time he saw the lane and just headed for the sticks.
And I think that's what Winchester teams have always been successful with, is that wishbone.
Now chases out wide to the left, full house backfield for Sullivan. Gives it to Tim Sullivan straight ahead, and he dives through for about 3 yards, and he's punching the ground. He thought he should have had more. He just got tripped up after picking up about 2.5 yards.
Well, good backs like Tim Sullivan always know that they can possibly get more. And that time it was just a miscue. That's all. You know, he thought he was going to be able to get more. Maybe he just stopped just a little bit. That hesitation stopped him.
So it's 2nd and about 9 from the 47-yard line for Winchester.
2nd down, 9 yards to go.
Again, Chase comes out wide to the left, full house backfield. Sullivan under center. Fakes it and takes it on the right side. Looks to pitch, but keeps it. Up, there's a flag down. Sullivan cuts back, loses a tackler. They're going to call something, and quite possibly a hold over here at about the 49-yard line. The Winchester players don't look too happy.
No. Whenever you see a play like that and you see a flag in the backfield, you know it's against the offense.
And they're going to call that game back, and Andy Sullivan had picked up the 1st down.
That'll be the holding against the Sachems.
He just got off. He got off to a quick start. Whenever you see a quick start like
Boy,
that.
this is going to put him in a bad hole. This is going to go way back. This is going to be a 2nd and about 21 right now.
This is a situation that Winchester does not want to get themselves into early in the 3rd quarter. They don't want to dig themselves into a hole, being up 34-31 and giving Watertown excellent field position.
So with 6:32 left and the clock running, Sachems have a tall order right now. It's 2nd and 20 from their 35. Sullivan fakes. No, he gives straight ahead to Tim Sullivan. He picks up about 4 yards.
Ball carrier number 42, Tim Sullivan.
Maybe give him 5, so it's going to be 3rd and 15 and a key third down here in this game. Watertown's got all the momentum going offensively. They really want to keep the ball and not hand it back to Watertown.
Well, we talked about momentum being a factor. Momentum has definitely played a factor throughout this ball game. It has shifted back and forth, back and forth. One quarter went to Watertown. Another quarter went to Winchester. Momentum has definitely been a key in this ball game.
So it'll be 3rd and 16, and we'll see what Coach Donahue pulls out of his bag of tricks. Chase to the left, full house backfield. Fakes it to Tim Sullivan, steps back to pass, throws a little flip out in the flat, but he really didn't have his man open. Good coverage that time by Dicker and number 35, Imperio. Tim Perio. Good coverage that time, and it's going to be actually a kicking situation this time. And I believe this is the first punt in the game.
It is. Temperio does a great job of following the receiver. Once he follows the receiver, he makes sure that receiver does not get the ball. He breaks it up.
So with 5:33 left in the third quarter, this is the first punt of the ball game. And back deep with the dangerous Paul Fantasia and Tom Dicker. Neither pick your poison on that one, Al.
I don't want to pick the poison because they're both potentially dangerous.
Oh, nice boot. Takes a bounce, takes a nice Winchester bounce down to the 20, down to the 17, 16. Excellent bounce, excellent kick by Brian Fitzgerald.
Brian Fitzgerald did a nice job of punting that ball down to about the 17-yard line, pushing Watertown back, not giving them good field position. The defense has to go to work. They have to do a good job. They have to contain Paul Fantasia and also try to slow down Tom Dicker.
And I think this will be the key series of the game for Winchester defense. They cannot allow them to get out of this hole and eat up the clock and start driving downfield, even though they have a 3-point lead. So Paul Fantasia comes under center. They come out in the full I formation with DeRosa in front. Dicker in the I. They give it to Dicker left side. He gets a little block. He cuts it back. He keeps driving. He picks up about 7 yards.
You know, Dale, looking at Tom Dicker, what makes him so potentially explosive is his ankles. He's always got those ankles moving. He never stops moving those ankles.
Yeah,
and that's what's tough.
Yeah, he's got his legs driving all the time. And the thing is, once he breaks a tackle, he can turn on a real burst of speed. So he's a very dangerous back. He's got the combination power, speed, and balance.
I'm curious to see where he'll go next year for his college career.
And they give it back to Dicker this time. No, fakes to Dicker. And Fantasia takes it right side. He gets up the sidelines. He went out of bounds. He went out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. So nice fake that time by Paul Fantasia.
Really nice job. As we talked about Andy Sullivan being a good quarterback, being able to be mobile. Paul Fantasia, his counterpart, is also a very mobile quarterback. Had nobody open, decided to run it himself, picked up some yardage.
See, that's the beauty of having a back like Dicker in the backfield. Yep. When you don't go to him and you fake to him, it opens up a lot of things for you.
It really does.
They come back in the full T again. They give it to Temperio, and he's stopped for a no gain. Nice play that time.
Well, again, that's the Winchester line getting that surge. As soon as they get that surge, they're able to stop the play in Temperio.
Yeah, Chamberlain and Tim Sullivan that time made a nice play on the defensive side of the ball.
They really did.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Watertown. 4:14 left in the third quarter, and Sachem's leading 34-31.
And while we have this quick break, we would just want to remind our viewers at home, thanks to Gloria Foods on 920 Main Street in Winchester for providing trophies for TV19's Player of the Game. The presentation at the conclusion of today's game.
Dicker tries to get outside. Great pursuit that time by the Winchester defense. Jay Glennon and a host of tacklers.
Glennon does a nice job of responding as to where Tom Dicker was. He comes in, makes a stop.
Oh, that time they just strung him out, and also now there's a penalty against Watertown.
Flag in the place of holding against the Red Raiders.
So they got to think about it here. It was 2nd and 10. And this will be 3rd and long.
I think you go 3rd and long, Dale.
Yeah, I think you go 3rd and long. I don't know if he'll take the penalty or he'll see what they do. He might just want to pin them. You know, 3rd and 10 with Dicker. No, they're going to take the penalty. With Tom Dicker, you know, 3rd and 10 is, you think, well, 10 yards is a lot to pick up on the ground, but if he gets a hold, you don't want to, you know, he could go all the way.
Well, you just said it. You got a back like Dicker. Dicker could get those 10 yards.
Right, so they want to pin him as deep as they can.
10 yards.
So it'll be 2nd and 20 from the 20-yard line of Watertown with 3:47 left in the third quarter. Sachem's clinging to a 34-31 lead.
It'll be 2nd down, 25 yards to go.
Again, they come out in the T formation. Fakes it. Oh, he goes the other way. He's got a lot of room to run. He's got a lot of room to run right side. He got to get one block. He gets it. He cuts back right side, and he gets out to the 50-yard line. Nice play by quarterback Paul Fantasia. He faked. Everybody went one way. He came back the other way.
Well, that's what makes Paul Fantasia a very dangerous quarterback. He's able to fake people out just when you think he's going to pass the ball. He keeps the ball and runs down the field. But you also got to give the Watertown offensive linemen a lot of credit for opening up the holes to allow Paul Fantasia to find the lane to get the big yardage.
He got a nice block down by field by his Kevin DeRosa.
He really did.
So now we got a first down for Watertown at the 49 of Winchester. 3:09 left in the quarter. Again, the T formation. Fakes it one way. Comes. Oh, great play by Winchester. Tim Sullivan sacks him in the backfield for a 10-yard loss.
Tim Sullivan knew exactly what was coming. He responded very well. He met Paul Fantasia for the sack. Great job. Not only is Tim Sullivan a great offensive player, but he's a defensive player as well.
You know, he didn't go for the fake. The great thing was is that they were trying to fake that one way, go back the other way again, and he didn't go for it. Just nailed him in the backfield.
Let's take a quick look at that last play. Look at this. This is just a great job by Tim Sullivan. He just knocks him down. Great job. Nice hit.
We got
on
a
that
timeout.
last play.
Got a timeout on the field. Timeout by Winchester, and it's 2nd and 17 after the 7-yard loss with 2:33 left in the third quarter. It's 34-31 Sachems.
Well, it's coming down to crunch time now for the Winchester Sachems. It's time for the Winchester Sachems to dig in deep, try to take some of the momentum away from the Watertown Raiders. They can do that. They can take control of the ball game. They could perhaps get a victory here, Dale.
Well, the thing is that this is a key drive. They don't want Watertown to just, stomp down the field and get in the end zone, because even though Winchester's had a lot of success moving the ball today, that was all in the first half. So it'll be a big key here to just pin him now that you've got him 2nd and 17.
Right.
When the band's stoking it up, the sun's still out, although it's sneaking behind the trees.
This is where it becomes nail-biting time, Dale.
2nd and 17. We'll see what Coach McGovern's got planned for his Red Raiders.
You know, we got to give Coach Paul McGovern a lot of credit. He's an excellent football coach. He's done a great job with the Raider program. He's really turned it around.
Back in the T formation. Go straight ahead to Dicker, and no gain. Little or no gain, maybe 2 yards. Good reaction that time by the Winchester line. Frank Federa, who's just coming back from an injury, is in on the play along with John Levitt.
When you get a guy back like Frank Federa who strengthens up your offense, who strengthens up your defense, that really plays a big factor. Frank Federa was a big player early in the game that the Winchester team had hoped that he'd come back and be able to play in the first half. He wasn't able to. Now they're getting him back. That's an asset to the Winchester team.
So you've got a big third down for Winchester defense, 3rd and 16. Now they come back in a I formation. Dicker deep in the backfield. Straight back to pass. There's a penalty flag down. They go with a little screen over to Dicker over the left side, and it looks like he trapped the ball.
I think the play may come back.
No, they were going to call it. It was procedure against Watertown before the play even started. But I'll tell you something. If the play was successful, they had Dicker wide open on the left side. They got to watch out for that.
Yeah. Well, you know, Coach John Donahue has a lot of tricks. Paul McGovern, a veteran high school football coach, I'm sure he's got a bag full of tricks too.
So that's a 4th. They declined the penalty, of course, and it's 4th down. So this will be the first punt by Watertown today. And we got another timeout. So Winchester calls another timeout. So with 1:45 left in the third quarter, Winchester stops them in defense, and it's we'll get the ball back.
This is a good opportunity for the Winchester team to take a timeout. You know, you're up 34-31 with 1:45 left to go here in the third quarter. You've got everything going your way. You just made a big stop. You know, you can turn things around. Perhaps Winchester can get the ball, get into good field position, go down the field and score, and perhaps wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I think that
not that this game is over by any means, Dale.
No, of course
but they'll be
not.
in pretty good shape.
The way these two teams have been running up and down the field, it won't be over till it's over, as they say. Yeah. But this is kind of a gut check for Winchester. This is the first time they've stopped Watertown this half, and now they're going to get the ball back. We'll see if they can move the ball.
Well, you know, when you have a healthy ball club like Winchester has right now, you're really seeing the results of it, and the Winchester team is doing a very good job.
Okay, so we come out with the first punt by...
Okay, let's take a quick look at this last play.
Tell Artie to contain. Tell Artie to contain.
Right here. Look at this. Look at how they stop them. They do a nice job on that flag. If that had, as you said, Dale, if that hadn't been a flag, Ditko would have been gone.
No, he had some room to run, I can tell you that much.
I think he would have been off to the races.
So now the quarterback's going to punt. So you got to watch out for that, too. No, he's going to punt. High, deep punt. Scott Brooks calls for a fair catch and makes it.
Halo, where's the halo?
Oh, they're going to throw a flag.
He was inside the circle. He was inside the perimeter.
Yeah, the guy was kind of in his face when he was trying to make the punt. He might get a little extra yardage here on this one.
Yeah, he will. When it's a fair catch, nobody can touch you.
Well,
Even if you make an attempt to go at him, that they're going to flag you
I think
for
the guy
it.
was right in his face, and that's
that's
an
what it
illegal
is.
play. So there's a break for Winchester. They'll tack on another 10 yards there.
Well, you know, as we said during the course of our telecast, that, you know, penalties do play a factor in the game. You know, early in the year, Winchester was getting a lot of bad penalties, but now things are turning around. Winchester is benefiting from flags.
So we got a first down for Winchester at their own 33-yard line. And this is gut check time for the Winchester offense. They come out with a single back and Tim Sullivan, splitting out 3 wideouts. And they go straight ahead to Sullivan, puts his head down and just drives ahead for about 5 yards.
Again, Tim Sullivan is a hard-nosed back who will gut out as many yards as he can. He'll get you 4, 5, 6 yards when he can.
Yeah, he got
and that's
nearly
what keeps drives alive.
Nearly 7 yards on that play. It'll
Did
be
a good job.
6 yards on the play.
Be a
second down, 4 yards to
second
go.
and a short 4. From their own 39-yard line, full house backfield. Chase split left to the left.
Yeah,
Goes straight ahead again to Sullivan, and he picks up a first down or close to it. Might have gone down just prior to getting it. It's going to be close. No, he's getting a good spot. He's got the first down.
Again, it's the guys up front that are doing a terrific job for Timmy Sullivan. Those guys are opening up a lot of holes, and I know Tim Sullivan really appreciates those guys. I hear he's going to take them out to dinner next week.
And there's the cheerleaders getting it cranked up on a bit of a cold afternoon.
Boy, you got to give these cheerleaders a lot of credit for staying out in this cold weather also.
Here we go again, and they go back to Albiani. He threads his way through, puts his shoulders down, and 5 guys tackle him, but he picks up about 4 yards.
Well, you know, in this situation, Dale, you don't have to get 6, 7 yards. If you keep getting 4 and 5 yards, that keeps drives going, and you keep moving down the field.
Albiani's listed at 5'8", 165. I think he's a little smaller than that, but boy, plays with a lot of heart.
Well, the heart kind of grows on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Second down, 6 yards to go.
They come out again in the full house backfield with Chase split to the left. 2nd and 6, he gives to Sullivan again. He cuts it up, he bangs it in. Oh, and they're going to call a flag, boy, and he had a nice open hole there.
Especially looks like they're starting to play a little game that pinch those tackles.
And they're going to call an offside, illegal procedure against the Winchester Sachems. That's going to put them back 2nd and about 11.
That's a penalty that they didn't want to get in this situation.
No, especially because Sullivan had he had a hole you could drive a tractor through. So it'll be 2nd and 11 at the 44-yard line.
Penalties against the Sachems.
6 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and a wild and woolly 34-31 Winchester Sachem lead, and another timeout on the field.
It's been a seesaw battle between 2 good ball clubs, between
Now
the
they're gonna just
Winchester
let the timeout
Sachems
out.
and Watertown. Excellent football game. If Winchester can pull this off, it's a big victory for the Winchester Sachems. If Watertown can somehow come up with a victory, they've got at least a 500 season. It's their first winning season. You got to give Coach McGovern a lot of credit. You got 2 excellent coaches out here.
So at the end of the 3rd quarter at Knowlton Stadium, the scores: the Winchester Sachems 34, the Watertown Red Raiders 31. Well, Al, this half...
There's Donna Gottlieb, one of the trainers at Winchester High School. She does a terrific job getting the football players ready and also the basketball players during their season.
And I'll tell you, she hasn't had to go out in the field today yet, and that's good.
No, that's really good.
And I'll tell you something now. This game here, you know, Watertown came right back in the 2nd half by virtue of the long kickoff return and and then the fumble recovery and got back on the board. Now this game is settling into the pits a little bit, and this next 10 minutes is going to be very interesting football.
It certainly is. But it becomes a game where it's going to be won in the trenches.
Absolutely. Also, you got to watch out for the turnovers or the big play will be key in this fourth quarter for sure.
Absolutely. Both clubs are going to play it very, very close to the vest.
So Andy Sullivan comes out lone back. Tim Sullivan, he's got flanked by Albiani and Alenado, and Albiani goes in motion straight ahead. Andy Sullivan fakes it, pitches it back to Albiani. He fakes to the right side and picks up 5 yards.
Nice job.
So he picked up the 5 that they lost. They're going to be looking at about a 3rd and 6, 6.5.
Well, that's
from midfield.
Well, that's being able to use the option really well, as Andy Sullivan is able to use the option really well. He knew he was in trouble, but he also had a guy following him so that he was able to dish the ball off and pick up 5 yards.
So this is a big 3rd and 5 play here. Again, they come out with Tim Sullivan as a lone setback. They're going to go left side. They pitch a way wide pitch, and it's kicked. And it's recovered by Watertown. No, it's not. It's dropped down again. And John Levis says, I got the ball. Well, they didn't get the first down, but at least they saved the ball.
You got to give John Levitt a lot of credit. He was on top of that right away.
For all intents and purposes, it looked like the Watertown kid was going to scoop the ball up, and that's probably the problem. He tried to scoop it up instead of falling on it.
Right. We got an injury on the field.
Yeah, Justin Snyder, number 83, is down.
We hope it's not too serious. And that's really nice to see that the Winchester Sachems trainer is going out to try to assist. I think that's really great.
Boy, and John Levitt, look at the pants he's been wearing. You know he's been in the trenches all day.
Yep.
Boy, that was a fortuitous bounce or jump on by him, because that ball looked like it was going to be Watertown's recovery.
Well, what did we say? Turnovers were going to be a key, and what happens?
You know, Winchester tried the wide, quick pitch, and they weren't able to execute it. And boy, nearly disaster on that play.
Well, John Levitt did a great job of covering up the ball.
So it'll be 4th down and 14 when the play resumes early in the fourth quarter. 9:07, and Winchester again with a 3-point lead, 34-31.
And we also want to point out that, you know, next week the Winchester schedule doesn't get any easier as they go to Stoneham. And that's good to see that the Watertown player is up under his own power. I think that's terrific.
Yeah, he probably, you know, he might have even fallen near the ball or on the ball. A little bit of knocked out, get your breath knocked out. It's nothing worse.
Oh, that's sometimes worse than getting an injury.
Feels like you're going to die for about 5-10 seconds.
Yep. There's a nice balloon shot as our TV19 crew doing a great job.
So we got a 4th down, and Brian Fitzgerald will go back to punt, and a very key punt here. You get the dangerous Dicker and Fantasia back to receive.
Reverse.
Oh! Well, that doesn't work. They fake the reverse. Winchester doesn't go for it, and they slam down Fantasia back near the 20-yard line. So he retreated about 15 yards. Looked like he was going to try to reverse the Dicker, but Dicker had already gone by him, and by that time the pursuit was all over him.
You know what? You have to give the credit to the coaching staff up here. They knew exactly that it was a reverse. They called it downstairs, and they were able to react. We got to give the coaching staff upstairs here a lot of credit. They read it right away.
So we got a 1st down for the Watertown Red Raiders, and this will be a key drive for them. Winchester really needs to come up defensively here.
We got another replay coming up here, Dale. Here's
the fumble.
Where that injury led to, that fumble. The ball just kept going around and around. Nobody wanted it.
I'll tell you, the kid for Watertown thought he had it in his hands. He tried to scoop it, and it just went right out of his hands. And big John Levitt jumped right on it.
And one of Dale Smith's fans has just come into the booth, Drew Smith. He wants to see what Dad's doing here. And also his daughter just popped in. Dale, you're a popular guy.
Yeah, I got my fan club with me today. So we got 8:48 left in the game, and 1st and 10 for Watertown. We got a timeout on the field as the sun slowly sinks into the background there. It's going to get a little chilly and a little bit on the dark side before this one's over.
Poetic, you know that? Coming up here earlier today, the foliage just looks great here in Winchester. There you see a nice shot of the foliage in the background.
It's gorgeous.
It really is. It's a pretty sight.
So here we go. This will be a key drive here for Watertown.
It's even a prettier sight seeing Winchester on top of Watertown, 34-31.
But they got a bit of work to do.
Yep, they certainly do.
Fantasia comes out under center. He's got Dicker in the backfield. DeRosa gives to Dicker, gets DeRosa blocking for him, cuts up left side. Watch out! See you later, boys.
No,
Tom
no,
Dicker
no.
is gone. He's not going to get caught, and he goes all the way, 80 yards. Whoop. Boy, I'm telling you, this gives this kid 1 block, 1 inch, and he is gone. Tom Dicker putting on a show.
He really has put on a show all day long as Tom Dicker gets the right block. He springs free. 6 points.
Boy,
Actually, they're saying it's 77 yards, but we're going to wait on the official. We're going to wait for the official ruling on that from a crackerjack statistician. Yes, he's saying 77 yards.
Boy, and I'll tell you, the key to that play was the block by Kevin DeRosa. He got out in front and laid a beautiful block, and Dicker just cut behind it. And with his speed, once he gets to the sidelines with a step,
gone.
there's nobody going to catch him.
Yeah, he's gone.
So Watertown takes a 37-34 lead and a very big extra point here. It'll force a touchdown to go ahead. Oh, and it's blocked. It's a live ball, and it's covered. So Winchester again stops the extra point, and they're within 3. So with 8:33 left in the 4th quarter, it's 37-34 Red Raiders.
Let's take a quick look at that last play. Right here, look at this. This is just pure speed and pure running by Tom Dicker. As Tom Dicker just gets ahead of speed, nobody's going to stop him as he goes into the end zone for 77 yards and the 6 points that puts Watertown on top, 37-34.
Boy, the thing about him is that he follows his block right to the point of where he makes his move, and then it just turn on the juice. It's just
Well, he does, you know,
excellent all-around back.
That's why he's an excellent back. You know why he's an excellent back, Dale? Because he follows the lead block. He allows that lead blocker to open up the hole. Once he opens up that hole, he's able to get the speed.
They called the penalty here now. They're going to let him try again for the extra point. They're going to say the heck with the kick. They're going to go for 2.
It's not a bad call.
Fantasia under center. The man in motion is Tim Perry. He drops the snap, tries to flip it back, hits the ground, tries to flip it to Dicker. He's got it on the left. He fumbles, and it goes out of bounds.
And there's a flag on the play. We've seen everything here today.
That play was, that's one for the books, Sal.
There's been several plays for the books here today, Dale.
That was the triple pitch after the fumbled snap. And Dicker, I'll tell you, I think he took his eye off the ball, because if he had it, he had a little running room.
Yeah, he sure did.
So now, after all of that, though, the main thing is that Watertown has taken a 37-34 lead, and it'll be up to Winchester offense to answer the call.
Well, it's going to be up to Andy Sullivan and company to come back and try to take this ball game back. But in all kidding and all seriousness, this Watertown team has really come to play here today. They were down at halftime. Everybody thought that this Watertown team was out of it. They needed one big play. Paul Fantasia got them back into the ball game with that 82-yard electrifying run. That kind of changed things for the Watertown Red Raiders. And from there, Watertown has pretty much taken control of the ball game.
From there, it's been the Tom Dicker show.
Yeah, it really
That's his 4th touchdown on the day.
Again, if you're joining us late and you're just tuning in, we want to congratulate Tom Dicker on a great career, as he has gone over 1,000 yards today. And we wish him well.
I would say he's probably over 200 for the day now.
Yeah, about that. Let's take a quick look at the last play.
Boy, and this is
going to be a great
This is
play.
one for the books.
This is a highlight play.
It's a fumbled snap. So now they go back to live action. Boy, the ball's bouncing around. Picked up by Allen. He comes up right side, and he picks up nice run back by Damian Allen after the ball was bouncing around, and they got good field position at the 32-yard line.
That's very, very good field position. 1st and 10 for the Winchester Sachems, about the 32-yard line. All Andy Sullivan has to do is just stay composed, do what he's doing well, being able to run the ball, go to Tim Sullivan, go to Damon Allen, and also maybe go to Ben Alabani.
So this will be the key offensive series for Winchester. They haven't shown a great ability to stop Watertown on offense. So they really got to keep the ball and get some points. Tim Sullivan in the backfield, Andy Sullivan under center. He fakes it to Andy, gives it to Ben Albiani, but they're going to call a motion call. And he's got a lane up the right side, but I'm afraid they're going to call it back.
It's going to come back.
They're going to call it back for motion, and that is a terrible time to get that penalty. They're calling it motion. Wow. Boy, that is an absolute killer. He had a nice lane up the right side.
They really did. They really popped him free.
Was down to about the 40-yard line of Watertown, but it comes back.
Inopportune time to get that flag.
And now you're going to have a 1st and 15, so you're a little bit deeper in the hole.
Let's take a look at that last play as we tried to describe it before. Here we go. This is an incredible play. This got to make a blooper tape somewhere.
Now what? The first thing is that the ball hits the ground and when he comes back from center.
Yeah, that's what starts this whole thing.
Then he picks it up. He
hands it off.
He pitches it. He goes down. He pitches it.
But you know what?
He fumbles it.
You know what's funny about it is that they didn't give up on it.
That time Allen tries to sweep to the left side and he is stopped. Nowhere to go that time.
Well, the Watertown defense is coming up big right now. They're trying to get their, they're trying to keep their team in the ball game 37-34 with about 8 minutes to play. The Watertown defense is trying to keep things at bay for Winchester.
Well, that was a big play that time by Harat Atunian.
Very good.
Made a big stop that time.
Dale, you've been practicing.
So now we got a 2nd and 15 in a key series for Winchester. Chase split out to the right side. Andy goes one way, comes back the other way, finds a little hole, and meets Tom Dicker right about at the original line of scrimmage.
What was that name?
Tom Dicker. And that'll be a 3rd and about, it'll be 3rd and about 8 or 9 from their own 33-yard line. Actually, the stick should be a little farther up. It'll be 3rd and about 8.
There's a nice shot of the Watertown crowd making the trip up to Winchester to root their team on.
Well, they got to be happy about the way things have gone in this half.
Absolutely.
Come out in a full house backfield. Chase split to the left side this time. Andy Sullivan under center. Andy goes down the side. He looks for a quick pitch. Oh, right off the hands of Chase. Boy, he was wide open off his hands. He had a lane to run. That was similar to the play he got the touchdown on. I think he was more open that time. Boy, and that may come back to haunt them.
Play. That is a real tough play. Andy Sullivan really had Chase wide open.
And it's 6:58 left in the 4th quarter, and that play may come back to haunt them. So they'll bring in Brian Fitzgerald to punt, and they need a good one right here. The last thing they need is another good run back. They cover the last one. Excellent. There's a booming high punt. Dicker singles for a fair catch and gets it at about the 37-yard line.
We've talked about various aspects of the football game here today. We've talked about special teams, we've talked about defenses, and we talked about offenses. But we also have to talk about the punting game. The punting game really hasn't played a factor until late in this ball game.
Yeah, and right now what's playing a factor is Winchester has to find a way to stop Tom Dicker.
Yep, absolutely. If you have to put 3 guys on Tom Dicker, you put 3 guys on Tom Dicker. Anything you have to do to stop him, as there's concern on the Winchester Sachems' faces right now of the fans.
But also they've got to watch out for the fake one-way to Dicker and having the quarterback, Fantasia, go the other way. He's done it a couple times today and had some big running room.
Winchester's got their work cut out for them right now.
The man in motion, Fantasia, gives it to Dicker going to the right side, and he just slams his way forward for about 2.5, 3 yards. Good defensive play that time by the Winchester front line.
Really good job. They've got to do it for 3 more times.
John Levitt and number 67, Rich Alanado on the tackle. Chamberlain getting the signals from the sideline. It'll be 2nd and a long 7. And right now, Watertown would like nothing more than the time-consuming drive with a 3-point lead. They come out in the T formation. They fake one way. He looks to pass. He's got a man wide open, and he's got it. He's up the right sideline. He's at the 20. He's at the 15, and he's down at the 8-yard line. And boy, what a time to pull a play-action pass. Justin Snyder wide open.
Well, you got to give Paul McGovern a lot of credit on that one. Just when you think Watertown was going to run the ball, Paul Fantasia pulls the pass play. Give McGovern and his coaching staff a lot of credit for trying it.
Oh, it was an excellent call. He had a 2nd and 7. They came out in the T formation. He faked it to Dicker one way, stepped back to pass, and he had Schneider wide open.
Well, that's why Coach Paul McGovern is considered one of the better coaches in football. I mean, McGovern will pull anything on you.
First and goal for the Red Raiders from the Winchester
Winchester has to have a big defensive stand here.
Here
it goes to Dicker. He's going around the left side. He cuts. He looks for his block. He cuts back. He cuts back into the 5. Good pursuit that time by Winchester defense. Good pursuit.
Real good pursuit.
Brian Nelson in on the stop, and they held him to about a 2-yard gain. So it's 2nd and goal from the 5 with 5:35 left in the game.
They've got to stop him, pure and simple. You've got to put the stop on Ditka.
Coach McGovern comes in with the play.
Second down, 5 yards to go.
Well, you got to be wary of that fake, though, and having the quarterback rolling out again.
Well, that's the thing you've got to watch out for in a quarterback like Paul Fantasia. He's able to do so many different things.
Fantasia gives it to Dicker down the right side. He's coming around the outside. He gives a fake. He's heading for the flag, and boy, he's in. What an unbelievable move by Tom Dicker. He just put a move on Jim Mahari, slowed it down, and then he speeded it up and just went right around him into the end zone.
There are no words to describe him.
Well, it's just a great back. It's just a great
really
back
is.
putting on a performance.
It really is. He's done a great job, but you got to, I keep saying it, and I'm going to repeat myself about the third time, but this Watertown team, they're showing why they're 4-2 in the Middlesex League. They've really hung tough. They were down by a lot of points going in at halftime, and they've tremendously turned it around. I don't know what it was, but they turned it around.
Well, the kickoff return for a touchdown really helped get them in that direction.
Well,
it's 43-34.
But Coach McGovern must have had some choice words for this team at halftime.
And Dicker finally drives one through the uprights after a day of frustration for the extra point. They take a 10-point lead with 5:02 left.
Winchester 34.
This has got to be demoralizing to the Winchester Sachems.
Yeah, but don't go away, folks. There's 5 minutes left. There's plenty of time in this game.
Folks, do not leave your TV sets because this thing is not over.
So we got 5:02 left, and it's a 44-34 Watertown lead. Tom Dicker with 5 TDs on the day.
Too bad we can't make him the player of the game.
Well, he may be the player of the league, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm curious to see where he might go and play next year if he.
In the kickoff of the red
I would betting a program like a BU, something like that. Not quite Division I, a little bit on the small side, but he's got everything else.
I think he could play at Boston University or maybe a UNH.
Yeah, that type of program. So here we go, and Mr. Dicker will kick off.
Let's take a quick look.
They're going to give him a break from kicking off. They're going to have quarterback Paul Fantasia kick off.
Let's take a quick look. Look at this.
Now he's just going in slow motion, and he stops, gives a little move, and then just heads to the corner. Pure speed.
It's just that sudden hesitation that really makes him dangerous.
Now Damian Allen takes it on the 15, the 20, 25, 30, 33-yard lines. First down for Winchester at their own 33. Again, decent field position for the Sachems.
Yeah, with 4 minutes and 53 seconds, anything can happen, but they've got to be able to move the ball down the field.
Absolutely. So 4:53 left. They need 2 scores.
It'll be first and 10 for the Sachems from their own 33-yard line.
Andy Sullivan rolls out. He's getting pursued from behind, and he's brought down from behind on the blind side. First time he's been sacked today. Number 34, Scott Tanaski, brings him down.
Scott Tanaski did a great job of staying with Andy Sullivan, not letting Andy Sullivan get out of the pocket to potentially throw the ball downfield and to potentially get some big yardage.
So it'll
Scott Tanaski does a great job.
It'll be second and about 14 for the Sachems. Clock becomes their enemy now with 4:22 left in the game.
It sure does.
Damian Allen comes off the field. Sullivan in the backfield. Gives it to Ben Albiani on the right side. He's got a couple of blockers, but he's stopped by Tom Dicker and company at about the 37-yard line. So it'll be short. It'll be third and about 4 yards for the first down. Well, and again, the clock clicking down.
This is definitely 2-down territory, Dale, right here.
9-yard gain.
Oh yeah, I would say if they, if they out to win the game, they would have to do it in 2 yards. But with the clock being the way it is, they're going to have to go downfield soon.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3rd and 5. He gives it to Allen after the fake. They go left side. Got John Levitt out in front, but he breaks the tackle, and Allen picks up the first down on a nice piece of hard running.
That's what you got to do. That piece of hard running will always give you the benefit of the doubt as they pick up a first down. Damon Allen does a nice job.
Yeah, Tentansky thought he had him in the backfield, and Allen was able to slip the tackle and pick up the first down. But now, again, the clock is down to 3:24 and running as they move the chains. 3 wideouts to the Right side, one back, Tim Sullivan. Fakes to Tim, gives to Tim Sullivan straight ahead. Picks up 4, he's still driving. And he's dropped down by 3 tackles. Oh, they're going to call a face mask.
Good call.
They're
Real
going to call
good
a
call.
face mask. Somebody grabbed the face mask as it was bringing him down. So he'll pick up another 10 on the end of the play.
That's a case of being overzealous on that play.
It's also a case of Tim Sullivan fighting for every yard, not going down, and making it tough to bring him down. So we've got 3:08 left, and they're down to the 48-yard line of Watertown. They're going to have to get a fairly decent score within the next minute or so, and then I would expect another of the onside kick.
I don't think there'll be anybody there to pick him up.
Boy, and the sun is sinking down. We're going to be in darkness in a couple minutes here, Al.
Yeah, sure are.
3 yards to go.
And now we got 3 wideouts to the left side. And Sullivan fakes to the left. He throws it out. He's got a man open. Albiani makes a fake. He cuts back, and he's down to about and he still won't go down. He's down to about the 33-yard line.
23, Ben Albiani.
2-yard line.
So it's down at the 32. It's 1st and 10 for the Sachems.
No huddle here, coach. We're gonna start thinking
And this game isn't over yet. There's 2:40 left in the game.
Plenty of time.
we're gonna start thinking maybe no huddle with 2:40 left.
1st and 10 for the
And the
Sachems
clock
from
is
red
running.
area,
They've got to
32-yard line.
want to get the ball. You know, if they can get within a minute and a half,
They'll be
they're
all
going to
right.
have a shot. If they
Yep.
could get in with a minute and a half left. And Andy Sullivan steps back to pass. He rolls to the right side. He's looking downfield. He's got his man. It's going to be up for a grab. Oh, boy. And a great play by number 11, Andrew Allegro. They were both going up for the ball. Chase had a shot at it, but it would have been a tough catch.
Well, that's a great job of the Watertown defender being right there, not allowing him to catch that ball. You got to give, you got to give the Watertown corners a lot of credit. They've stayed right with their defenders, and they've really done their homework.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2:21 left in the game. So here we go. It'll be 2nd and 10. Tim Sullivan. Chase wide to the right. McGeehan wide to the left. Sullivan back to pass. Goes over the middle. Oh, he overthrows Alanado, or
Sullivan pass.
Allen. He overthrows Allen.
Allen incomplete.
So it'll be 3rd and 10.
I think that's just a case of Andy
It'll be
Sullivan
3rd down,
just trying
10
to
yards to go.
overthrow the ball just a little bit.
Yeah, that time his man wasn't wide open, but he was there, but he just overthrew him a little bit.
55 add 3, the inside guy running the 3.
So big 3rd down here. Although we're in 2 downs for the rest of the game for Winchester. 3rd and 10. Make a Chase split to the left. Tim Sullivan the lone back. Albiani in motion. Gives to Albiani on the handoff. Gets a little bit of a block, but geez, great play by number 21 who stayed at home. John Castanino
Ben Albiani.
did not get faked out, and he stopped him for little and no gain.
Well, that's why the Watertown team is a very successful team. They stay home and they do their homework, as John Castini does at that time.
So it's 4th down and 9, and this is the ball game for Winchester.
Fourth down, 8 yards to go.
Come back to
And while we have this opportunity with 2 minutes left to go, we want to thank our TV19 crew who did an excellent job of providing coverage.
So with 2 minutes left in the game, it's a 44-34.
We also want to remind the viewers of Winchester that
Watertown.
our next telecast will be on Thanksgiving against classic rival, the Tanners of Woburn.
That'll be the big. It doesn't matter what the records are in that game. It's you could win every game all year, and if you lose that one, you would think it's not a great season.
Right, exactly.
So Chase goes wide to the left. Chamberlain wide right. Allen in motion. Goes straight ahead to Tim Sullivan. And he does not get the 1st down, and they take the ball over in a change of possession. Winchester trying to fake them out, going straight ahead to Tim Sullivan. Didn't work. Watertown takes over the ball with 1:54 left.
What did
First
we
down,
say?
Watertown.
A game of football is a game of halves. Winchester won the 1st half. Watertown won the 2nd half.
Well, Watertown really got it going after that that spark they got on the kickoff.
We want to thank our sideline camera person, who's Pearl Chella, who does an outstanding job here today.
They did a great job today. And Winchester
And Barbara Johnson.
Winchester, the game isn't over yet, but they should not hang their heads. They played their
No.
hearts out today. This team coming in was favored, and they really played hard and played, gave it 110% today.
They really did. I mean, they really gave Watertown a battle. And they sent a little message to the Watertown Raiders that, hey, We were going to come out. We were going to play hard. They made Watertown come back and play like a Watertown team should have. You know, they were 4-2 coming into the ball game. The Winchester Sachems had nothing on the line, okay? But they really gave Watertown a lot of trouble.
And I'll tell you something. It takes sometimes in a game like this where you know, you're really putting the pressure on the other team. The real great players rise to the occasion, and let's say Tom Dicker has risen to the occasion today.
He really did. He did a great job, and the Watertown Raiders are to be congratulated on a great second half of football. Paul McGovern regrouped his troops. They came out and played a whale of a second half. And they proved why possibly they're going to move to 5-2 on the season.
We got an injured player for the Watertown Red Raiders. We can't see who it is.
And we remind the viewers at home that next Saturday,
oh, it's Tom Dicker.
Oh, well, we hope he's not too seriously shaken up.
Yeah, he was banged up in the last game, playing both ways, kicking. Well, he's limping off the field. That's tough to see.
That really is. That's a tough way to finish a great afternoon off.
So Watertown will look to run the clock out here. Winchester will look for a fumble or a turnover or anything that might happen to get them the ball back. There's no gain there. And the clock's running down. It's 2nd and 10 with 1:46 left in the game. And Winchester calls a timeout. With 1:40 left, 2nd and 10 for Watertown.
Timeout, Sachems.
Trying to check over on the sidelines to see how Tom Dicker's making out.
And you know, this is our last game that we will see Tom Dicker play in a Watertown High School uniform. We want to congratulate Tom Dicker on a terrific 3 years at Watertown High. Nothing but an outstanding scholar as well as an excellent student, and we wish him well wherever he attends college.
Absolutely. So Winchester now, they're hoping to get the miracle turnover and the quick score. And you know, we've seen stranger things happen in ball games where you only have to go back to last year's Belmont Winchester game to see the strange things happen.
Hey, let's not bring that up again, will you please?
So it's 1:40 left, and 2nd and 11. So the thing here would be to stop them and force them to
down, 11 yards
do
to
something
go.
on 4th down. Although they've used a few timeouts, I don't know how many they have left at this point. And so they run straight ahead. They pick up nothing. Again, now it'll be 3rd down and 11. But they have a timeout left. They call another timeout.
As things wind down here, we want to remind the viewers, stick around. We're going to have the player of the game, and I think we pretty much have our player of the game.
Well, I would say today's player of the game we're going to give it to Jim Alenado from Winchester. He caught a touchdown. He ran for a touchdown. He made a couple of nice plays on special teams, and he really stood. He came through today for Winchester. And
Did a great job.
Be our player of the game today. Well, that was a hard one though.
Yeah. I know we searched. I know we tossed our brains apart for what, 3 quarters, trying to figure out who it could possibly be.
Absolutely. So now we got a 3rd and 12.
As Drew Smith is patiently sitting by Dale Smith here. Is he the potential new broadcaster here in a few years?
Yeah, start him young. So it'll be 3rd and 12.
3rd down, 12 yards to go.
And Taja just gives it straight ahead again. Oh, he breaks the tackle. DeRosa breaks the tackle, and oh, nearly gets a 1st down, but he's down short. He's about a yard and a half short. Well, he nearly broke it for the 1st down, so it's 4th down and about a yard. And the clock's running with 1 minute and 13 left. Watertown in no hurry to get to the line of scrimmage. They're just going to let the clock wind down. We'll discuss it on the sidelines what they want to do. I believe they'll punt because they don't want to take a chance with a 10-point lead. Why would they want to do that? They'll have to punt when the clock finally calls them 5 yards back for delay of game. They'll let the clock run down until delay of game, I believe. So Fantasia going back to punt. Yeah, they call him for delay of game with 41 seconds
Flags
left.
on the play. I guess Watertown will be called for a delay of game.
Flag on the play. Delay of game against the Red Raiders.
So they'll knock them back 5 yards, which really doesn't hurt too much in the punt. They get to get the benefit of the clock. So with 41 seconds left,
6 yards to go.
Winchester will look for the big run back.
Once
and the
again, if
miracle
you're
finish.
tuning in late to the ball game, we want to congratulate Tom Dicker for going over 1,000 yards on his high school career.
Tom Dicker's also gained
And on the
228
game, he has
yards.
228 yards.
So here's the punt. Try to block it, but it's not going to happen. The ball bounces. Nobody can pick it up, and it's downed at about the 41-yard line of Winchester, and there's a flag on the field. And we'll have to see what this is.
Flag on the play.
And they're talking to the Watertown captains. That's not good. They're going to decline. It's offside against Woburn, but they decline it.
Decline.
So they'll give them the ball at the 41-yard line.
10 for the Sachems from their own 40-yard line.
That's a curious declining. I would think that they would have had the first down. Would they have not, Al, if they had taken the offsides?
I don't know, Dale.
I would never put the
Interesting
ball
call.
in the offense. I don't care how much time is left. That was a curious declining.
There's a shot of the press box with the TV19 crew on top.
Scott Brooks is into the game with 31 seconds left. Gives a little fake, goes straight ahead to Tim Sullivan. He gets a little room to the left side, and he's brought down after about a... No, he's not brought down. He sheds the tackle and says, wait a minute. I didn't go down yet.
42, Tim Sullivan.
17 seconds, and the clock's running out. That'll be the last play of the game, I believe, at the fourth quarter winding down. Winchester gave it a hard try. So from Knowlton Stadium, the final score will be Watertown 44 and Winchester 34.
And that's the ball game.
Boy, and it's a great ball game for people to watch. It really was a high-scoring affair, but Watertown really turned it on in the second half, and Tom Dicker was just a little bit too much for Winchester this afternoon.
34.
Final score again, Watertown 44, Winchester 34.
TV19 and Gloria Foods would like to name its player of the game. It's going to go to Jim Alenado, who played a one-wheel of a football game in a tough loss to the Watertown Red Raiders here today, 44-34. Jim, congratulations on the award. Let's talk a little bit about the ball game. You guys had them up 34-19 at halftime. What went wrong in the ball game?
I really don't know what went wrong. I mean, we're playing our hearts out there, and I guess there was maybe a hole or two in the defense that Watertown found, and we couldn't get to them.
Where does the team go from here?
Just another great week of practice like we've had every week. It's just the beginning of the season, and we come back and beat Burlington.
What do you guys have to do in order to get a victory against Burlington next week?
Just have to play our hearts out like we've done every week so far in the past, and another great week of practice, like I said before.
What does Coach John Donahue and his coaching staff tell you guys at the end of this ball game?
Well, I mean, we played our hearts out, but we just don't get the breaks that we need. Maybe a penalty here or a fumble here. It's just, I don't know, the game's not going for us.
Let's talk about the quarterback, Andy Sullivan. Andy Sullivan played a whale of a football game, perhaps one of his best games of his career thus far at Winchester High School. He did a terrific job. I mean, what more can you ask of Andy?
Well, Andy's a great athlete, and you can't really ask more of him. I mean, he's playing his hardest, the rest of the team is, and, I mean, we're working together as one. We're just not getting those lucky plays that we need.
Well, I want to wish you guys all the best of luck next week with Burlington. That's going to do it for That's going to do it from here from Knowlton Field with the score Watertown 44, Winchester 34. We'll see you on Thanksgiving against the Tanners of Woburn.